Big ol' burr. And there we go. Welcome, friends, to another game of Skyfall 5th Edition. I recently just ruined everything, so it might take us a slow start here. But we'll get to it
I found
eventually.
the bear. Here's the bear.
I've recently deleted the save for our group Full Service, and they're gonna try and recreate all of their neat little tokens and stuff, and I'm gonna get a bear for somebody, which should be in one of
I
these
already
bags.
grabbed the bear. It's on the table.
Okay, you get 2 bears. There we go.
Hey,
And
you act the size of one of them?
last session...
Oh, can I be?
Oh, goodness. Let's see here. Last session, you had all been on the run. Previously, you had done something to incur the wrath of Theo and spent the entirety of your session dodging from one street to another, jumping across rooftops, and trying to get away from all of his minions until eventually escaping and taking a long set of travel over towards the desert of Baccaral. And here, in the desert, you've been wandering for multiple days, not knowing where to go, and puzzling over Lotho's dream, not knowing how to contact the druids that you so desperately need to speak with.
Don't
So,
worry about it.
bringing us back to now, all of you are around a recently made camp. And you have your little fire here. It's incredibly cold as wind blows around the sands on occasion. You're all huddled with your different tents and whatnot. And the mystery is still very much at hand. What do you do?
Cauldron.
Alright. Guys, I have this idea.
I'm fucking
The-
cold, so I'm all ears.
Pray tell.
There's a little fire right there. Come on, man. So in my dream, they tell every time, except for this last couple of times when it's been cut short, a guy turns around and tells me that the firstborn gathers us, that the time for material concern hangs on an autumn wind, that we should honor their call, trust my feelings, and that they gather at the torch. So, I don't know, maybe I'm completely crazier, but what if we ditch all of our material possessions, find some hilltop, like the highest hilltop we can, light a torch at the top of it?
That may be the worst idea you've ever
Are you
presented.
fucking crazy?
Maybe. The best I got. I don't hear anybody else coming up with any ideas.
Well-
I'm picturing you like mad picking up the snake and like throwing it at someone. What's the best I got? I don't hear anyone coming up with any ideas. Throws the snake across the fire.
But do you want to take the lead on this one?
I honestly don't know. Well, looking at the map, there is this little piece of water that kind of looks like a torch. I don't know.
Right.
That's all I got.
Well, don't have much. What I can say is so far we've been trying to bank on the idea that they're going to find us. But in Lotho's kind of summary of his dreams, very clear that they want us to find them. So I don't think staying in one place is the good idea. This torch that you see, the hill, is the
Not
sorry.
a torch I see.
Well,
Tell me about
I
the
kind of
torch.
associate torch with the sun. You said that there was a kind of mad eye over the horizon, right? Where the people were walking to. And they
Yeah,
say they
like,
gather at torch. So what if the torch is the eye?
It's possible.
The eye is behind the hill, right? That they're kind of cresting over in the
Yeah,
dream?
it kind of takes the place of the sun.
Right.
As soon
Okay,
as they
so
get to the top of this hill, they just disappear.
So, look, I mean, I get your idea of ditching our possessions. It's just that we have possibly a freak army coming our way. And I don't know about you guys, but I am utterly hopeless without my swords and my armor. So I'd rather not bank on a supernatural intervention in that regard. What I'm gonna go with, and it's kind of the simple solution, might not be the correct one, is scan the horizon, find the highest ground we can, something that's similar to what you see in the dream, and make sure that, is the sun setting in your dream? Is it rising? Do you have a sense
No,
of the time of day?
Do I?
No, the sun is behind them, so either it would be like late, as though the evening would be about in a few hours, or the opposite, where the day is starting.
I say we either start or try it with our gear, morning and night. If all else fails, everybody strip. Try it again.
Aleutian,
Yes.
in your world, the sun, does it set and rise east and west?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, so we have, in my opinion, okay, so the autumn wind thing could be just a kind of indication that we're out of time, right? Autumn is past, it's winter now, and it might already almost be too late. So it could be just an indication that we need to rush as much as possible, and that's kind of indicated in Theo's sense of urgency, right, in killing us. Otherwise, he could have just delayed us, put us on a wild goose chase, send us off on a treasure for an impossible reward, something like that. He didn't do that. He wants us dead, which means we're close. It also means that we're possibly pressed for time. So what I would suggest is, just as a completely non-magical being, a rogue, look around. We find high ground. In your dream, this hill was the biggest thing that you can see. Is that right?
I think so.
Okay, so this is a fucking desert. We're going to be able to see high ground in some way. And it's either going to be in the east or the west, unless this is some supernatural dream where the sun fucking completely defies all logic and reason. If it's just a snapshot of reality, it might be in the east or the west. So we know the direction they're going, potentially. We know that they're going over high ground, and we know that they're going towards the sun or an eye. I mean, that gives us a pretty good physical idea of what's going on, at least, right? And with two Outlanders, we might be able to at least scan the horizon and at least get a bearing of some kind.
Does anybody know anything about this desert? If there's any landmarks?
I know fuck all about this desert.
So
Would any of us?
the only thing that your group really knows, since you've never gone really through the desert or anything like that, is what the map tells you. So it appears that the desert doesn't have anything in it as far as structures or mountains or anything like that. It's just barren sand. On some sides it has like a little jungle over here, and then one over in Aurelium, etc. But there's nothing marked on the map as being in the desert itself.
Was that? So yeah, I guess we just look for high ground.
I mean, Rotho, you might be right, but I'm
It
not
wouldn't be
exactly.
the first time I took something a little too literally.
It's just
That can
for
be
me,
our last resort.
right. For me, the penalty of being wrong and leaving our possessions behind is that we'll be completely defenseless when Theo arrives. When, not if, when Theo arrives.
Yeah.
So we need to at least have some armor, some weapons. That's just, I think, an obvious thing. So I think we have two options. We can either go to Jakuta south, which is kind of where we're heading already, stock up, and maybe ask people about this eye. but we want to be careful. We don't want to start disclosing all the details of the prophecy. Although Theo does seem pretty aware of what's going on. But maybe there's someone in Jakuta that could help us with some of these symbols. They might not know who the people are, but it could be a shot. So I figure we either take a shot with physical locations and hope that we can jog your memory by stumbling on the right hill or whatever, or we go to Jakuta and see if we can try our luck there.
I think,
It's you said
Oh, go ahead.
it's almost sunset right now, right?
yeah, it was nighttime, I think.
Yeah, it's getting there.
I want to pick up Lotho and like grab something I could use as a torch, and I just set him down on the top of the nearest hill. Put the torch in the sand, and I'll stare at it intently and be like, "All right, light it."
Okay, so you, with ease, you pick up this halfling and wander off, and then deposit him in a torch in the ground nearby. Lotho, what do you want to do?
Use one of my 2 cantrips. Use flame, and I'll light the torch.
Okay, you're standing at the top of the hill, and a torch beside you is lit. Now what?
I'll look
I'll
at
wait.
Lotho.
Okay.
We'll gather at the torch. What happens?
So while you sit there, a warm wind blows in for a brief moment and hits the both of you at the top of this hill, blowing a bunch of sand off of the dune on which you now stand.
That's gotta be a good sign.
Define warm.
It doesn't freeze you like every other wind.
Hmm.
You know the wind is probably cold, but in comparison to everything else, it actually
It's
feels
warm.
nice. Yeah, exactly. You've been living in a freezer for so long. You're like, oh, -7 feels so good. Okay, so the sun is off in the distance and it's setting, much like in your dream, and you're by a torch. Are you just gonna wait until night comes?
Yeah. Yes. See what happens anyways.
Okay. You stand up there, and this warm wind eventually leaves you and is replaced by the cold winds of the winter as the sun sets. And it is now nighttime. The stars can be seen up above. Are you all going to simply get a night's rest?
Shit. Did we miss it? And I'll start like stripping and like tossing my shit off to the side.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'll toss aside my backpack and my purse.
Aldrin will go to sleep.
Aldrin
Yeah,
goes to sleep.
I'm thinking they're fucking crazy right now.
Okay.
He's wiped. The cold makes him that way.
As
He's
you
a mountain
discard
boy.
your possessions, the warm wind returns, and you start to hear something. It's like a dull humming, and it starts to gain definition, and you can hear what sounds like chanting almost, of just incomprehensible words that hang on the wind, and off in the distance, in a flurry of sand, you see approaching you what look like a bunch of brown-robed figures.
Aha! Aha!
Also, table talk. Congratulations, Lotho, you got it. And the best part was the moment that you fucking guessed it, I was like, holy shit, he did it. And then the group's like, no, that's dumb.
No, he's fucking crazy.
Alright.
So your possessions
Holy
discarded
shit.
as you stand up here at the torch there at the end of the day. You see these druids start to approach you, and the wind that blows around you, though warm, which makes you feel much more comfortable now that you've discarded most of your possessions other than like just some of your clothes, it sweeps around you, and it covers off what you can see hiding the camp behind you. So from everybody else's perspective, you guys have kind of tucked into bed, and there's like a little snow, or so not snowstorm, but like a dust storm that's kind of blowing about. And the hill off in the distance where Lotho and Firth have gone to is kind of covered by this, so you can't really see anything over there. So you guys kind of just tuck in for the night. And as far as you guys go, you cannot see the camp as all these robed figures approach.
I'll pick up Lotho and start like dancing in a circle because we've been wandering for a couple days out of boredom.
Mm-hmm.
It's finally exciting.
They look like are they within earshot?
Yes, they're getting closer, and you think that you could call out to them.
Do
Alright, I
hear
wanna
anything from camp? Sorry to interrupt.
But
No, you don't.
Okay, cool. Then I'm just chilling.
alright. First I'll say to Verth, I was like, should we alert the other two? Probably, right? Before I call out to these guys?
Sure, and I'll just yell out towards the camp.
Okay. So you call out to the camp, and you can't see it. There's blowing sand in between you and the camp, and both of you back at the camp, you don't hear anything call out to you.
Cool.
I'll just kind of shrug and look towards the hooded figures coming towards us.
Yeah, I'll do the same, and I'll shout out. My name is Lotho. I'm a druid, and I'm here to answer the firstborn's call.
As they approach, one of them speaks in Druidic, pausing from the chant. He's the first of the group, and he turns to you and says, "From what circle do you hail?"
Circle of the Stars. I respond in Druidic.
They start to gather around you, forming a semicircle at the top of this hill with you. And one of them steps forth and says, "So, Lotho, Stars of the Circle, Circle of the Stars, why have you called us?"
I've had dreams lately, nearly every night. I see you all rise up to the top of a hill, disappear. And I've been told to gather at the torch.
Well, you have gathered. Surely there must be something that it is that you want from us.
I wish to connect with Aridin. My friends and I have been going around, and we've taken out a couple of lights on Boris. After the last one that we took out, we were greeted by a messenger of Aridin. Told us of more of these around the world.
One of them steps
Asked for our
forth
help in
and
destroying
says,
them.
"Which messenger?"
Giant eagle.
A couple of them gasp, looking at one another, and then the one at front turns back towards you. It says, "Has Aridin told you anything? What did this messenger say?"
All he said was that there are more of these lights around the world. He asked for our help in destroying them. That's all I really remember. He also mentioned a deal with one of our compatriots, but I don't think that it's right any further on that.
Hey, Lotho, you want to tell them about Theo?
Yes. We made a couple of ill-advised deals with a devil named Theo. Perhaps you've heard of him, perhaps not. Anyways, after he found out that we were doing some work for Aridin, he attempted to have us killed. We were fortunate to escape with our lives and immediately came here, but definitely a threat.
There seems to be some discord and confusion that is sown amongst the druids. They turn to one another, speaking mostly in Druidic, some in other languages, using mostly the languages of, like, Orin, the different elemental speech. It's clear that they're not sure why you're here, and the one that you're speaking with here, he turns over his shoulder to talk to one of his companions before turning back, and he says, Othos, you were sent here by Eridan. There must be something that you need of us. Wish to serve the Firstborn just as you do, but without further direction. You're also lost.
I've been told that you guys hold powerful magic, that you're able to keep yourselves shrouded. That's something that you can teach me and my friends, or at least myself.
A couple of them look to one another. You see under hood the look of keen eyes that turn from one figure to the next and then back towards your group here. And a few of them nod, and one of them steps forward and says, "So it's the shroud you're after."
Yes. And I'll sort of like a facepalm and remember that the giant eagle that I'm saying this to them, we encountered told us to seek out the shroud in the desert.
They all nod amongst themselves, and then one of them says, "But there are two of your group that have not come to speak at the torch. Are they to receive the shroud as well? It won't conceal you if only a portion of your group has it."
Yes, they are.
We shall
Tried
lift
to
the
rouse
wall
them
of
before.
sand. Go speak to them and bring them as fast as you can. And
I'll
you
run out.
You see that the sands between here and the camp start to dissipate and allow you to pass through them, Verth. It's a powerful wind, and you can tell were they blowing the way they were before, you wouldn't even be able to get past it. But you emerge from there and make it over towards the camp. It's late. There's just maybe a half of the sun over the horizon there as you run back to the camp and get over there. It looks like Aldrin and Carrick are just kind of laying there in their little bedrolls.
I'll pick up Aldrin, no questions asked,
Okay.
and I'll just shout at Carrick, be like, "Get up, follow me," and
I'll
start running back.
on and just
I'm actually gonna kind of jolt awake, pretty happy that there's a development, and run after Verth, not knowing what's going on.
Okay. As you get over there, something happens, Verth. You're able to kind of take a step into the wind, but then trying to carry Aldrin, there's like a powerful wind that blows against you and resists you, pushing you out of the circle.
I'll drop him, and I'll be like, "Strip."
Epic.
me
Yes, you. Did I fucking stutter?
a little. All right, and I will take all my stuff off, I guess.
It's like the Jerry Springer, take it off! And you hear a bell, like ding, ding, ding!
I will throw everything of mine onto the camel,
Okay,
and then can I try and drag the camel in too?
you could try if you want.
Facepalm.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, if we're gonna be invisible,
Aldrin,
can
we
still
don't have
track
time.
The camel. The camel.
If his stuff is off, I am dragging him in.
Okay.
Why would you put your stuff on the only thing that can run away? I don't understand.
You're now
I
standing
disregard that
outside of
decision.
a wall of wind and sand, Carrick, nearby a camel that was prepped with all of Aldrin's gear. Just looks over at you and goes, "Meow."
I'm
Eric,
gonna be like, oh, for fuck's sakes,
take
Verth
all my
is right.
stuff off of it.
I don't hear you, man. You're on the other side. I'm gonna go. Fuck.
Be smart and do it.
Just
I'm
kicks the
gonna-
camel and runs off with his shit.
I'm gonna try the wall with my foot.
Okay. Yeah, sure enough, as you try and get in, the wall resists you and pushes you back. You don't feel like it's too strong, like you might be able to overpower it, but every time you feel like you're going to gain some ground, your feet just slip in the sand and you can make no progress.
I'm gonna look down at my gear and be like, fuck. I'm gonna put down my hand crossbows. I'm gonna put down my daggers. And keeping my armor, Reza, and Edgar's dagger, I'm gonna try again.
Okay. You take a step in and again are pressed and pushed back out.
I'm gonna be super fucking just frustrated.
Throw
Shit.
everything on the camel, it'll be fine.
I'm gonna kind of give Reza a kiss and plant it into the ground and kind of like do a sand mound around it to hide it a bit. and put Edgar's dagger down, and try it with my armor and see if it'll let me go.
The moment that you're letting go of Reza, it speaks to you and goes, "No, no." It just becomes distant as it lets go. So you have nothing but your clothes on now?
But my armor, yeah.
Okay. As you go to step forward, you make it through.
Oh, fuck yeah. I'm gonna kind of pet my wolf shoulder pads and walk up through and meet the rest of the group.
Okay. So standing up here, some of them in clothes, some of them in just like their underwear, the rest of your group is surrounded by these brown-robed figures. And as you approach, one of them looks towards you and speaks to you, Verth, and says, "Are they ready? Should we tell them?"
I don't know, boys. You ready?
Fucking nice in here. It's not
yes.
it's not cold at all, so yeah, let's do it.
Otho, the shroud is a well-kept secret by we brown druids. However, while magical and powerful and a useful tool, it is not without its drawbacks. So, before we offer this to you, it is only fair that we tell you that you may turn very ill upon taking the shroud, though it will still work.
Ready.
We talking like stomach cramps?
You see,
Is it just me, or is it all of us?
Yeah, sorry, I don't know if he's talking
Ah.
to just Lotho or all of us.
you see that he kind of looks towards the rest of you after speaking with Lotho, and you all get the sense that this is going to happen to all of you.
I'm gonna kind of sigh and be like, fuck, when Eridan chose me, I didn't think this was gonna be happening.
There's a rumble between you and the druid. He takes a step back away to kind of make his way back into the semicircle when the ground in front of you sort of shifts. And you see some sort of insect-like carapace that starts to come out of the sand. And as it shifts and moves around, a gigantic scorpion with colors the likes of which you couldn't imagine emerges from the sandy dunes. It has predominantly the color of sand, like an off-yellow, off-brown, but in between its joints you see colors that are like powerful neons of green and purples and pinks and things like that. It has a set of red eyes all clustered together. There's like a whole bunch of them up towards its head. And you can see a powerful stinger that has almost like a glowing liquid inside of it. It looks like an off-green, and from the slightly translucent carapace that houses it, this liquid sloshes about and emits an unnatural light on the area. One of the druids steps forth, and you see he kind of puts his hand so the palm's facing the ground, and then as he moves his hand to face upwards, you see it's like a small wooden mug materializes in his hand. No, 4 of them, and he takes them out and holds them underneath the stinger, which leaves a couple of droplets in there, and then produces the 4 cups to all of you.
Is there
I'll
any
grab-
sort of
I'll grab mine.
ritual? Yeah, I'll take one.
Grab his.
Okay, so everyone has one? How about you, Carrick?
Absolutely.
Okay. Does everybody drink it?
I'm gonna fucking cheers Aldrin and then down it.
That's probably the right
fine.
call.
Cheers, boys.
Aldrin is gonna go. all-
Absolutely. I'll down it. I'll cheers with everybody and down it.
Okay, I need everybody to please make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh shit!
It was all a ploy by Theo, I knew it!
He's out to wreck us.
Uh-oh.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
That's a 9
Oh.
for me.
Oh my god, all 3 of you rolled under a 10.
I'd say 5.
13?
Okay.
9.
I can't believe you've done this.
Oh wait, no. Saving throw. I have an 11.
An 11? Okay.
Hey.
Did anybody get a 15 or higher?
Nope.
Okay. Someone got a 10 and everybody else got under, right?
I got a 9. That was the highest, I think.
I got.
I got-
5.
I got a 13.
You got a
I have
13.
an 11.
An 11. Okay. So the 13 and the 11, You have shroud sickness. This is something that you'll have to add onto your character sheet. It is an affliction. For those of you who got 10 or under, let's see here.
You fucking die.
You have 60 feet of vision. That's as far as you can see out in front of you before your vision turns to a horrid, it's like a swirling blackness that you can't see past.
Fuck.
You're
Oh,
sighted
really?
now.
And the two of you that got underneath 10, did you guys get, let's see here,
I got a 9.
a 9? Okay, and the other one was,
5.
oh shit. Okay.
Aldrin's just
3,
dead
baby!
completely.
Tier 3 for Aldrin!
Aldrin, you just made it. If you got a 4, it would have been pretty bad. So you also, the both of you also have shroud sickness, though yours is 30 feet.
Oh.
Pretty poopy, guys.
Alright, did you say Lotho and I have 60 feet?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, those of you that got a 10 or higher, and those of you that got a 5 or higher have the 30 feet.
Oh, so I have 30 feet, not 6.
So half of you have the 60 and half you have 30. So the moment that you drink this, the liquid feels almost benign. Like it doesn't really taste like anything. It doesn't really have any texture. It's like slightly cool at first, and then a moment later you can feel it. It's like all of your veins are constricting, like threatening to cause your body to like pull up into a ball so that they don't all just snap from the places where they are rooted. But the feeling subsides, and when it does, you notice that your vision has all narrowed to the point where you can't see past certain thresholds.
I think we should have left Theo out of this.
Is this fucking normal? And I'm gonna be rubbing my eyes, trying to like get my vision back.
One of the druids sighs. You hear a female voice that says, "I'm sorry, it is what it is." And another one says, "Now that you've had the shroud, no magical scrying will be able to detect you. Fortunately, it seems none of you dealt with the poison very well, though. A couple of them look at each other, and you can hear them speaking in Druidic, so you guys can't understand. Though Lotho, you hear one of them says, "Regrettable."
By that, I'll respond in Druidic.
One of them says over, "Well, the hope was that at least one of you would manage to stave off the effects of the poison and to take the shroud and not lose their sight, but now you may be shielded from magical eyes, but normal eyes can still see you, and you might not see them coming with your limited view."
Does this wear off at any time, or is it permanent?
2 years.
Oh, guys, we're boned.
So we should have fucking read the fine print first. Guys,
So
we're
one- I
fucking
assume-
boned.
So, let's go start up our
Necessary.
own bar and, just hold off for about 2 years and then continue our adventure.
And I'm gonna kind of be frustrated. I'm like, sorry, how are we supposed to hunt blights if we cannot see more than 30 feet in front of us?
You'll have to rely on something else.
The hope.
Animal didn't drink.
If
A
it's
load
true,
of shit.
if it's true that Eridan wanted you to receive the shroud, then, well, done the right thing. Firstborn is not wrong. That being said,
This a
yes,
one-shot deal.
how do you mean?
Yeah. You get one drink and that's it. An opportunity to.
If you consume too much of the shroud, you'll die like all of the desert scorpion's prey.
How much is too much? Did he give us like it was like a full cup, or was it just like a drop?
Ah, you saw that there were a couple of drops, maybe half of a shot glass worth. The druids mumble to themselves, and one of them says, "You could try to take more, but it's too risky."
Riskier than not being able to see 30 feet in front of me. If I take more and I stave off the effects, will it reverse what I'm experiencing now?
You may be able to overcome a second dose, though.
Then give it to me.
We have only tried this once, and the one that tried, though it chose Neveridin, she died immediately.
Fuck.
Table talk. There will be another whiz check, and if you fail it, you will die.
Imagine the DC would probably be high.
How much higher do we have to get?
Oh, I'm not
You
telling
don't know that.
No,
We
we don't.
that's right.
Not until we make the check.
Even the druids
Ah,
don't know,
fuck.
right? Like, they tried it once and someone died, so...
Hmm.
One of them steps forth and says, "Better to still have you all intact, even if it is with less sight." Another one steps up and says, "If Eredin has sent you here for the shroud, then it is probably best that you speak with him again now that you have it."
How? We've had more luck summoning devils and fiends than we have Eredin in the past.
It's true. Eredin does not commune with his children nearly as much as, say, the Chimeras would, but there are places. The Earth is still old, and the Firstborn can still be found.
Tell us where?
Somebody steps forth and says, "We know of one such temple. However, it's rather far from here. I myself have never made the pilgrimage. In fact, most of us haven't.
Define far.
Have you a map?"
I do.
Aldrin, you hold out the map, and where the finger lands is not at all where you want to see. I'm going to make a little quest marker for you here.
Okay, I was like,
I thought it was straight up in the water.
fucking
Oh.
Emel's basket.
If it,
It's over here!
guys, it's right over there.
He's gonna bring us back to Emel's basket. Swear to God.
Wait, hold on. Is it not?
Oh,
There we
back
go. It's
down.
not
It's
right.
either the
No, it is right there.
Dear God.
Shit. Oh God, too close.
Has Nomentar been unlocked from development?
It
Early
has.
access?
It certainly has. Marenheim and Kip
Oh,
will be
wow.
next.
Paradigm. Go visit Aldrin's dead people. Dead friends and family.
Table talk, guys. What's north of Skyfall again?
Nothing. Dead. Despair. Death and despair.
North of... What?
North of
it's
Skyfall
The Land of the
Is-
Elves. That's what Nomentar is. It's
is Nomentar, and then north of Nomentar,
the wastes. There's nothing out there. It's
The
said to be the end
wastes.
of like the edge of the world. If you kept going that way, you would just fall off into nothingness.
Lies. The world's round. World is circular.
Some
Christopher
flat
Columbus
Earth type
figured this
shit.
out.
You'll just fall off the edge of the world.
I don't know, man. When Jack Sparrow did it, he found some cool shit.
It's true.
True, he did. A bunch of crabs sailed the ship.
Alright,
An older man steps forward. He's clearly a bit jittery and is one of the figures that has been hunched for most of this conversation. He says, "The Nullroot Sanctum is perhaps one of the oldest places in the world. Likely your only hope to speak with Eredin, unless he contacts you."
say the null root sanctum.
I shall type it out for you.
I'm gonna get my. Actually, I have a notebook right here. Time to start this for real.
No.
DM talk. I didn't think all four of you were gonna fail that save. Holy shit.
All part of me really wants to try again.
Just fucking die instantly. Well, there goes the
Oh.
druid.
Obviously, I shouldn't be adding. It's just the saving throw, right? There's no proficiency bonus. It doesn't matter anyways. It'll only be a 13.
Yeah, so whatever you
Tried
get
my
towards
rambling.
your wisdom saves.
Right? It's just the save. You don't add anything. It's just for the proficiency bonus is just for checks, right?
No, if you're proficient in that save, you add proficiency and your modifier for that stat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
All
if
right.
you're
Well, it still would have only been 13.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have made it.
Um,
yeah, 15 was what you had to get to not lose your vision.
can I kind of get closer to the druids and
Sure.
I'll go. All right, look, I'm not really good at this. Not like Lotho, anyways. To be honest, I was a bit skeptical, but it seems like, judging by the torch right outside, that he was right on the money. So, look, Eridan chose me. I don't know what the fuck that means. I'm not particularly a believer in Eridan. I've shown absolutely no inclination towards him or his world in my entire life. So, what does it mean to be chosen?
There must be something that thinks that you could be useful for.
So that's it. I'm a tool.
You could see it that way. This world is like a large garden of his. Cannot tend to it himself. So we as followers of his are like his gardeners and tend to the world.
So I'm to be plucked from my world, thrust into this crusade of his, and have my vision robbed. For what?
For the sake of the world. If you've been called to him, surely he has some task for you. You could turn away from it, if you so desire, though who knows what might be lost in the process. As I said, this world is his garden, so this desert would fall into disarray were it not for the brown druids, and likewise the forests and jungles themselves are all tended to.
Well, not quite. I mean, there are blights that we've been eradicating, and that continue to grow for whatever reason. I mean, do you at least have leads on those? If we can't see ahead of us, maybe you can at least give us some kind of bearing. Must have heard of some kind of corruption nearby.
Our orders tied to the desert, and many of our tenets specifically to do with secrecy, and fortunately the goings of the outside world are beyond us to some degree.
I'm gonna kind of throw my hands up in frustration and start walking towards.
You talk of your order. Are there others like you, but in other areas?
Of course, there are druid circles all throughout the land. No piece of nature is without them, though finding them can be difficult.
The Spring family, like the forest counterpart, like you guys obviously take care of the desert. Does the Spring family take care of the forests?
Not exactly. We are tied to our lands. Just watch them and tend for them as best we can. Though some have a different fate and would prefer to move from garden to garden. This is the Spring family of which you speak.
They're a group similar to you. So I guess then there would be a particular forest would have its own particular set of protectors then.
Yes. Given what you said about blights, it could be that some of the circles they're unaware something has happened to them. If that's the case, well, something is wrong in the world. It should not be so.
Now, do you know much about the Spring family? Like, you obviously know that they're nomadic. Do they visit different druid circles?
Sometimes.
Sort of like share information?
A few of them kind of look at each other, and then the man speaks up again. He says, "We have not seen the Spring family here in some time. However, to the best of our knowledge, they are still out there." These blights that you speak of, where did you find them exactly?
There was one in northern Novaria. Small one. Somewhat larger one. Over in forest above, I got a
Freehold.
freehold.
It was north of Springtown specific, but I'm not there
Yeah.
to tell you that.
This one here? Okay.
For that anyways, yeah.
So, the druids speak amongst themselves for a bit until one of them says, "The druids in the forests along Springtown have been there for a long time. Don't know who tends to the one up north. Perhaps something has happened to them, or being a small forest, they couldn't deal with the blight. But there should have been ample protection in the forest that you went to, Freehold."
When you were there, I saw some signs. The forest of Novaria. In fact, there were some dryads. I saw no indication that I can recall of any sort of druidic order in Freehold. Possible that they've earned or maybe strengthened since this say for certain.
It's probably best that you speak those at the Gnarlroot Sanctum. You can get there, but may be a good idea to see if you can contact the druids of that last forest you were in. They may be able to offer some help. If you did rid the blight, then they are likely in service to you in some way.
Can you tell us anything? Your advice, and here, but you said that no one has ever gone to Gnarlroot Sanctum before, but can you tell us anything of the area around?
He said
Anyone
that
who
some
may
of them
know?
have been there.
Oh, okay.
And it appears that one of the older gentlemen that spoke up had been there before.
Tell us anything? What we might expect on the journey there or while we're there?
The forests of Near Munitar are dangerous. Expect any vines or trees to attempt to swallow you whole. Just be on the lookout. Never once let your guard down. Must also be on good terms with the elves, or you'll never make it past their borders. It's lucky. So my younger self, I was invited into the lands and was extremely fortunate. They have qualms with you, you can expect your journey to become near impossible.
Is there anything? What did you do to keep yourself safe from the vines? You just kept alert at all times, or?
Yes, keep your things close to you. Setting down Your pack for but a moment could mean that it was swallowed into the ground a second later. You have pets or any companions could easily be taken. You must watch them too.
But we should keep moving.
And above all else, use what you will against them to drive them back, but do not use any forces of lightning or energy.
Like fire?
Fire should work, though, of course, you'll have to be careful. It is a forest, after all.
Like a small campfire or like a large bonfire or something like that?
It may drive off some of them, but they're bold. So long as you are in the lands, they will try to consume you.
Are there any druid circles up in that area that we might be able to call upon?
I'm certain the elves
Too
have
wild.
plenty of druids, though did not speak to me when I was there. Every
What was
order
my
has
last-
its own protocol and traditions to adhere to. Otherwise, the world would stop working. It's not always known how to call upon the druids.
Do you have any elven contacts up there that may help us?
Roll persuasion.
Is a 13.
That beautiful -1.
Absolutely.
Okay. Let's see here. Let's roll for luck. He seems tight-lipped, and he doesn't respond to you at first. And he says, "You'll have to find your own way." Lands up north.
You had to do the same, so why should... Not being, like, sarcastic or snooty, like, I was trying to be, like, respectful.
Okay. Yeah, he seems to understand that you're taking this about as well as you can.
Elder, I do have a question off topic.
Yes.
Have you heard anything of Mersan?
Let's roll luck.
Getting fucked today, boys.
I've never heard of this.
We had a run-in with a cult. They were taking people, and we had to dispatch them. However, ever since then I've had this itching anger at the back of my head, which I can't seem to get out. Just wondering if you knew of any remedy or way to get this itch out of my head.
A few of them speak to themselves, and the one that's kind of been at the head here, talking to you for the most, he walks over and places a hand on your shoulder if you'll let him.
I'll let him.
Okay. He kind of holds his free hand in front of your head just a few inches away for a second, and he says, "Yes, there's something that plagues you. Afraid that magics of restoration that you'll need are not ones that we possess, but druids of the forest, not the jungles, but the forests further north. They should be able to help you. Though how you will contact them, I do not know."
I'm grateful for the information. That's more than enough, thank you.
Okay. Respectfully, he takes his hand off and steps back, and then turns towards you, Lotho, and he says, "Lotho, we've given you what we can, proving yourselves to be very least, loyal to Eridan. Though some of you a bit emotional, perhaps. It's all we can do for now, giving you our counsel. But from here, you'll have to find the rest of your way. Speak with him and find out what it is that the Firstborn wants from you. There's likely something very, very wrong with the world. Though we have given you some help, there may be others out there that can assist you. It might be worth it to attempt and find the druids in the forests of Freehold before traveling further north. I have not spoken with these brothers in a long time, but they might have something to offer you.
Your advice, and I thank you for all the wisdom and information you've imparted on me today.
If ever you have need of us, you know how to summon us.
Can I ask your name?
You see he grins for a moment and then just kind of like steps back into the circle, and all of the druids start to wander away from you. The sands start to take them, moving in between their robes here until eventually there's a particularly large gust of sand that sweeps up, and when it clears, all of them are gone.
Turn back to everybody and say, well, I guess we can leave the desert now.
What are you doing right now, Carrick?
I have my shit and I'm just
Riding off
Yes.
on the camel with Aldrin's gear?
not quite. I'm just kind of standing, looking north, and not saying a word.
This is gonna be a long walk.
Walk back and
Realizing-
collect all my belongings.
That I can't see shit anymore. It just hits me and I start freaking out, rubbing my eyes, yelling.
Aldrin's gonna look around for his camel, and hopefully it's still there.
So those of you with 30 feet might have a hard time finding the camel. With 60 feet, though, you can kind of see the edge of your camp over there.
Anybody see my camel?
Collect my stuff and lead Aldrin back to the camp.
Okay.
Thank you.
So is it like just blackness ahead of us, or is it just like really bad nearsightedness and it's just blurry along?
It's like a combination of both. It gets blurry past that point, but it's also like dark to the point where you might get like the occasional color or like murky image from beyond that point. But otherwise, like, you can't distinguish from anything. So let's say, like, 100 or 200 feet away from you, there's a building. You might be able to see, like, there's, like, a building-shaped object over there. You would have no idea if it has, like, windows or a door or something.
Like a big blob there.
Basically, yeah.
Can I look into like Lotho's eyes or Aldrin's? Do they like look like murky at all, or just normal?
No, you guys all seem to look normal for the most part.
Okay.
If there's anything different, you notice that there's like an occasional vein around like the edge of the forehead that everybody has that seems to be almost like lifted up, like engorged, like they're straining or like thinking under stress, that kind of thing. And it subsides every now and then comes back.
Seeing that, could I try and see if make some sort of medicine check and see if there's anything I can do about it?
Ah, sure. Go ahead and roll medicine. Oh, boys, the roll tonight.
15.
Okay. Wait, what? You have
That's
a
a
plus
lie.
10?
No, that's a huge lie. I thought it was a 9 for some reason. No, it's 11.
11. Okay, well, that's not bad. You... Wait, how do you have an 11? What the fuck?
I have a plus. Oh no, sorry, that's a saving throw. Yeah, no, I'm proficient in medicine, and then I'm adding my proficiency bonus. So it's 5 plus 6.
What's your wisdom?
Doing that right. Wisdom modifier is 2.
So it should be 2, and then plus proficiency, so
4.
another 2, so it should be 4.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. So that's all added in on this.
Yeah. Oh, you're not supposed to add additional on the sheet.
Gotcha. In that case, it is a 9.
Let me
It's
see
a whole lot
here.
more sense now.
Oh baby.
Oh, baby. Okay.
League.
You're not sure exactly what's going on here. It's clearly some effect of the poison, and you remember this feeling like there was something in your veins. You feel like this is likely going to persist until the poison wears off. Or maybe it's just like this for the first few days, who knows. But,
They
as far as you
said
know,
it
you
was
can't
for
go
a
to it right
year.
now.
Okay. What do you guys want to? What time is it? Still nighttime? That didn't take. That was probably like a couple hours, right? Thing.
So the whole meeting would have taken a little while. It's probably early evening. The sun has set and the stars are out. My internet is really bad today, abnormally so. I'm sorry about that. I'm not sure what's up.
I'll just turn to everybody and say, "We good?" That was just a tabletop question. Are we good?
Oh yeah, no, I think we're good.
Oh yeah.
My internet's
Okay,
fine now.
so wait, is Aldrin's camel still there or no?
Yes.
Okay, so he's gonna gather up all of his stuff and put it back on.
Alright, I'll just turn to everybody and say, so they recommended that we try and contact the druids of the forest of Springtown, of Freehold. Said that they should be our debt for clearing out their forest there. You guys think that's a good plan?
Whatever Eridan wants.
Say
I
we
don't see
camp
why
for the
not.
night here, or make our way out of this desert?
I say we camp. A lot of information to process.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna make camp for the night, yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Take first watch.
Can I interject here before we do that? Be like,
Sure.
sorry, but I think we should get moving. Despite everything that happened, if Theo was scrying on us before we went in there, and now he can't see us, by not moving, this is the first place he's gonna come to. If we move, he's not gonna know where we went.
Fair point.
I start packing my things.
You want to tough it out and just like travel throughout the evening or a portion of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Let's hop
suggest
onto
that
my
we go
camel's
at
back.
least a few hours and
Okay.
try to find a safer place.
Are you going in which direction? Up north?
I'll leave that to the Outlanders.
We have to travel northeast. From the looks of it, guys.
We just reverse the direction we came, then we'll be fine because Carrick or not Carrick, but Aldrin and Verth are gonna know exactly where we went back.
Yeah.
Alright. So let's see.
But
here.
that might not be a good idea because follow our
Oh, I know we
trail.
can't go through this forest right here.
So, you travel for a few hours before eventually setting up camp. It's a harrowing experience moving without being able to really see much, but eventually, after a couple of hours, you decide to settle down and get your long rest, and all of you wake up the next morning.
Do we want to
Well-
get a ration from the camel, or do you want to summon more of your good berries?
We'll have done that the night before. That's the way I was doing things.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that will automatically.
Still had
do
2
it.
available spell slots. I try something real quick before we do anything.
Sure.
I want to try and cast Lesser Restoration on myself.
Okay.
See if that.
Go ahead and roll for me a straight luck check. If you can get a 19 or a 20, you will be able to actually reverse the effects.
Much as I hate to say it, we go back to Emil's basket and make our way up from there.
Fuck that place.
So sadly, nothing happens.
Hey, second.
Well, Steve, I think the consensus is we go to Freehold, not Emil's Basket. You're thinking of
I'll agree
blitzing
with
straight
that.
to Nauru?
Up. Here, show me what you're talking about.
Oh,
Going up
so
through Freehold and up to
Freehold
there.
is here, and the
Yep.
druids there. This is table talk. The druids there are apparently in our debt for us clearing the blight that's here, and
okay.
apparently the druids here are influential enough because the whole area is quite large, so it must be a big druid circle. So apparently they have some pull and they might be able to help us. If we blitz to here, they said that we need two things. A, the influence of elves just to be able to get in there. And the second thing that we need is, we don't need, we just need to be aware of the vegetation or else we'll get fucking tree raped Evil Dead style. So yeah, we probably want to try to reverse the effects of the blindness before we head up to a super dangerous and unknown
I
land.
agree with that.
Yeah. Anyways.
So, still in table talk.
Mhm.
I was thinking that if we ever did that bar thing, we could just open up a bar somewhere and name it the Camel Toe.
Oh God.
Wow.
You're adorable.
God.
Fucking Aldrin.
I fucking hate you.
You hate Aldrin.
Nope. No.
No,
That
he
was
hates
pretty
you.
specific.
Oh, that's fine.
No more player unknown. No more player unknown.
Oh, that's sad for you.
That is sad. Okay, so I guess we. Fuck, dude, I'm so not down to go back into Mace Legion territory just to get fucking raped. They can straight up
since you
just
and I only see
like.
30 feet.
Yeah, even the best of us see 60, dude. Someone with a longbow has like fucking a bajillion turns before we even find out what's going on.
How about we make our way this way?
Into fucking mysterious
You know, like
people missing dead territory.
shy off of like
Oh,
the
like
jungle.
we did near
Yeah,
near
but
the
instead of
lake.
taking a right past Havez or whatever, we go up this way instead.
The only thing I'm thinking of is that isn't that where the dinosaurs are? It is. So
Yep.
if we take that way, we're not going to be able, I mean, we'll hear them. That's the advantage. And by sticking close to the water, it wasn't so bad. We can also try to fucking bank on the teleport. You know what I mean? Like the lake teleport, it was here, here, and here. So maybe this is the closest one. Maybe we just fucking go to here. We skip Havez, we skip this, and we just teleport straight to the shores over here and like mosey on to Springtown.
My character
like that
knows
idea.
nothing about it.
Regardless of what you choose, congratulations, you are all into the second chapter of the main quest.
Oh God.
Fuck!
Damn
I
it.
thought you were gonna say level 4.
I think you guys are actually pretty close, though. You're like 3 or 4 sessions away, something like that.
I was right in that boat with you. I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
No. The worst part is I get nothing at level 4 besides an ability score. Womp womp.
Could get a feat.
Fuck that, dude.
Feats are cool.
I mean, they are cool, but so is an additional +1 to my hit and my damage, and my armor.
Transform into things
my
that can
initiative.
swim.
All
I
right.
don't think Aldrin gets shit.
Well, I really like that idea of using the lake because that'll really throw Theo off. Because I don't think he would know that we even know about that.
In that case, could you use the teleport from down here instead? or does it
That'll
have
s-
to be from up here?
Oh no! It's Oh, you
Have to
weren't
be on
with
the
us,
lakeshore.
right?
I know nothing about it.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
that-
table talk. What we did is the moment we touch the water, we think it's because we're great souls. We literally light on fire, but it's a fire that doesn't do any damage. And when we start swimming into the lake towards a light, we just kind of get
no.
turned up.
It was this one right here.
No, it's not. You don't swim at it. It's just when you get there, an
Yeah, you
orb
just stare
like
at the light.
appears, and then you choose like one of the branches that comes off of this light. So there's like lines up in the sky, and then.
See, we didn't know that, but thank you, for very much.
I'm sure I described it, but it probably got kind of lost in how ridiculous that session was.
Funny,
Yeah.
Well, I
'cause
remember all the
Aldrin found
lines and
it.
stuff, so.
Yeah, okay, so then we would choose. So basically we would just go in, we would choose this, and then I don't think last time we pretty much got up we weren't in the center. We were close to Elos and Nestok when we teleported in. Actually, it was right here that we landed. But yeah, so we'll go, and I like your idea because rather
up.
than going up here, doing this means we avoid Addis and we don't get close to Zarencia where the Iron
Really
Legion.
like that idea too.
What about? Is there anything on this one, or is
There-
it like water?
We don't think so. When we got here, we saw the other lakes, and we just knew that there was one southeast of us, which we think is this one.
Yeah, so they basically saw that a line connects from here to here, and that's when they took. But they didn't actually like take any of the other ones. So they know that there's one connecting these. They know there's one that connects somewhere over here, and they know that there's one that goes straight into the sky.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, your idea is good. We don't have to do this. We can do this. That might
Yeah.
be safer.
would
Addis
go
is still a fucking
straight
cesspool,
east.
but at least we won't be in the dead center of Zarencia. We'll be kind of going to the southern side. I
Fun
really
zone.
don't like this vision thing, dude. I'm gonna get fucked. My whole Carrick being alive is due to him being able to see what's coming at him. Gonna really cripple me.
It's gonna be a lot
I
of
would be-
hearing perception checks going on.
I would be in favor of like heading straight for this forest here to at least give us some sort of cover as soon as we get out of this desert.
Yeah, so it looks like there's a small jungle kind of on the corner of that lake.
That's a catch-22, dude, because we don't know if the forest is actually better, right? There could be threats there that aren't Mace Legion, but that are like, will fuck you up because we're a jaguar and we can't hear them coming type of thing. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? We do a straight
True.
shot, we stay close to civilization. Big dudes in armor, we're gonna hear, and if they gank us, we're fucking dead anyways. So, I think our best shot is to rush to the lake, get here, and Theo's gonna be so fucking mad. But you made a point where you don't know if Theo, like, I think Theo's been scrying on all of us this entire time, so he
Yeah.
must have seen us go fucking to this lake. He must know what's going on. He doesn't seem like an ill-informed type of guy, you know. So
Yeah, but at least he doesn't know our plans now.
no, that's right. That's right.
See, this
So
is the
we
cool
rush-
part, is trying to outthink the devil.
Yeah. So yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
So I like Verth's idea way more. And I think your idea, Lotho, is good too. I mean, staying close to the jungle. I'm just worried that we're thinking of human threats, but we have to be aware of the fact that if we run into something that we cannot hear, there's a surprise round and we're gonna get fucked.
Yeah.
So
no,
it-
I'm in favor now. I'm 100% behind just
Cool.
starting
Okay.
towards the lake.
Okay, cool. So we'll do what Verth suggested then and go south of Addis, and then teleport up to the lake up there, trying to see if maybe we can favor the eastern side, although I don't know if we even have the option. And then we'll start. Springtown probably hasn't healed. It's only been probably 60 days with like the time warps and all that shit. I tried keeping a calendar, it failed miserably. So,
Taslin's probably the only one that's got like a semi-accurate depiction of time.
fucking great souls.
I've got something, but we haven't spoken to anybody to ask what day.
Well, that's the thing, right? And now that we're out
Plus-
here on our own,
Like, what if there's a time warp where it's just nighttime to nighttime? Like, would we even notice?
Yeah. Like
Or-
the last I
or-
have is after our cult battle.
Or winter to winter.
Fuck. Well,
Ooh.
Da, da, da.
apparently, table talk style, winter's never gonna go away now. So get fucked. Could have at
There is
least
that we
only
summoned
have one
Samuel
more
L.
year left
Jackson
of
for the
poison.
snakes.
It was apparently better than a year of snakes.
I don't know. I could summon Samuel L. Jackson to help us. I cannot do anything against the
I think
winter.
he would die of stress.
This isn't a plane, it's a whole world, motherfucker.
Just jumps off the edge of the world.
Okay, guys, so I think we have a plan.
That's
we have
the
two
plan?
Outlanders, we have food, good
Okay.
berries for days.
Here we go then. I am going to roll for the weather. Let's see what we get. Well, that's a 5. Travel is slow, though you are prepared, and you have ample supply of both food and water, which helps. The winds are cold, and the sand that blows against you comes with just a freezing, chilling effect that you stave off using your winter clothes. However, it does slow down your movement. And by the time that you manage to make it towards the road here, it's already been... Let's see here. Okay, that's not too bad. It's been 9 days. Now, traveling through the deserts, you haven't bumped into anything along the way, and the first thing that you see is eventually this road here. Now, the road is like a compacted dirt road that runs up towards the north and then kind of curves down and goes towards the east. You guys are going to just pass by it and go to the lake?
100% for me,
Okay.
anyways. That's what I'm thinking, guys. What about you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Off in the
Yeah.
distance, at the edge of your blurry vision, there's like a large bluish mass, and as you get closer, the bluish mass suddenly turns into the detailed shores of a lake when you finally get there on your last day, so on the end of the 9th day there. It is probably about late afternoon by the time that you get here, and the waters of this lake are very, very beautiful. They're quite clear. Like, you can see through them very well, and it's obvious what little like fish life and whatnot is moving around there. Like, you can see them plainly.
And they haven't frozen over?
It appears not.
Oh, okay.
Plunge my hand in.
Okay. The water is very, very cold.
Are there any flames
You-
around my hand?
Ah. So leaving your hand there for a moment, yes, the flames do appear, and Verth, you see that as Lotho leans down and places his hand in the lake, some white flames start to run up his arm and coat his entire body, and it looks as though everybody sees them, but they don't seem to harm him at all. Off in the distance, it looks like Lotho might be looking at something, and Lotho, you see further towards the center of the lake what looks like a ball of white light that comes into existence, hanging just above the center of where you would imagine the lake center would be there. And from it, in your blurry vision, you see what looks like a large beam of light that runs off towards the northwest.
I'm gonna say, Aldrin, if you want to keep your camel, you better stay on his back. And then I'm gonna stare at that light and think about and trading on that beam that goes to the north.
Let's
Okay.
see if, try, like, I don't know if Lotho would think of this, but try focusing on the eastern side of the lake, see if maybe that affects anything.
So you stare
okay.
at this light and think about going to one side of the lake specifically, and eventually everything goes black, and when the scene reappears, you're on the shores of a different lake looking around, and given your new lack of sight, you don't really know what side of the lake you're on.
Do I recognize anything in my limited field?
No.
Okay, dude, we have two Outlanders. They'll be able to look at the shape of the lake maybe and figure it out.
Are the
Just,
rest
yeah,
of you
hang
gonna
out.
follow him?
Oh, absolutely.
Eager like a little kid
Yeah,
with a new
I'll,
toy.
uh,
I'm shoving my hand
I'll
in
stay
there.
on top of my camel and waltz right into there.
Okay. So, sure enough, following the instructions and staring at the light, it works, and it takes all of you over there. And by the sort of curve of the lake, you guys have to travel for a bit when you appear on the other side before you actually figure out where you are. You're right here.
Ah.
Bad.
So it seems like it's taken you to the closest shore.
Okay, that's
I have a
not
question.
that
Is
makes-
it winter
that
in
makes
this
a lot of
entire
sense.
area, or is that just a biome?
Whole world.
The whole world.
Well, we don't
pretty
know
much.
actually.
Yeah, you don't know what's happening in Silchaw,
Okay,
for example.
just table talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool. So we were here and it brought us there. Okay, so it brings us
Yeah,
to the nearest edge.
Well, the nearest one you focus to, I guess.
Yeah, the nearest
it's-
lake. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the nearest edge to the lake that you go to.
Okay.
You guys could go to Dio's outpost.
Ah-ha-ha.
Certainly
Lucian,
could.
you filthy fucking succubus.
Theo would never guess.
He actually, I don't think he would.
They'd
Be
be
like, those
"They're too
idiots would
stupid
never
to
go back there.
Table
They're
talk.
too smart to go back there.
I'm seriously, I'm thinking if we can get a telescope to counter this vision
Oh.
thing. Because I don't know if it's a magical like aura of 30 feet or if it's just like I have serious fucking like just cataracts.
Yes, so in this world, spectacles and like a seeing eyeglass that might be used by a very, very wealthy naval captain. Those do exist.
Okay, but
Generally-
out of our price range.
Yeah, you guys would probably know, not the dwarf, because the ocean's gonna be foreign to him. But for those of you who've lived on the surface, at least, you would know that like an eyeglass would probably cost or be worth like 100 or more gold.
Oh, that's nothing. I can sell one of my hand. Get like 50 gold or 25 gold. That'll help.
I'll
Okay,
give you
well-
70 gold.
We have to try it. I mean, maybe that's what we want to do. I don't think Springtown or called Pines Edge.
Everybody just walks around with these like bubbles style like Coke glasses.
Well, maybe we
Look
just
like
use,
Professor
like,
Farnsworth.
Verth or Aldrin as a dedicated like front guard with that at least, so we know it's coming.
We can try
Um,
it before we buy it. See if it works.
I'm dropping
should
1,000
buy ourselves a
gold.
cart.
We want 8 fucking, and we just like bracket them to our fucking faces. It's amazing.
I would say we should try and buy a cart, but you know, people would probably be more opted to rob us.
We could always fucking travel like blind monks. Go incognito.
Everybody jump on
Hey,
the back of the
I'll be right
catwalk.
back real quick. Tornado sirens are going crazy again. I gotta
sure.
check what's
Yeah,
going
let's take a quick 5-10 minutes here and hope that our friend Verth is not swallowed up. So we'll be back in a few.
I don't know. I've seen the movie Twister.
Yeah, all you
Yeah,
have to
that
do
movie's
is
good.
belt yourself to a pipe.
Yeah.
Good.
What?
The
belt
end of
yourself
the
to a pipe.
yeah, at the end of the movie, they tie
Yeah.
themselves to a railing or something. They
Yeah,
get,
it was like from a well or something.
As the whole fucking thing just goes up into the sky, the pipe saves the day.
I was
Yeah,
thinking. Okay, yeah,
and
okay.
the thin leather belts.
yeah, it's like the super thin one. Oh, that movie.
Oh shit!
Or like that other, what's that other one?
Yo,
like,
by the
that
way,
they had us watching
Lotho-
Earth Science.
Lotho, bravo on the puzzle, dude.
Dude, seriously, I was like, I can't believe you got it. Like, I was really worried I'd made it too complicated. And then you're like, so I know this might be silly, but what if we take off all of our stuff? And I was like, holy fuck, he's gonna do it. And he's like,
50%.
and then we go up on the hill, and I'm like, oh my god. He's like, and then take out a torch. And I don't know if you guys were watching on stream, but my face, I was like, oh, like, and then immediately you guys are just like, no, that's fucking dumb. And I'm like, oh no, they're
No,
not
you're
gonna
a
get it.
That's the thing, dude. Is once you shoot down an idea, it's like it's never returned to again, right? So-
Yeah, so I was super worried.
You know what's funny though is the whole entire time when we were just sitting there, I was like, somebody's gonna randomly come out of nowhere, be like, I've been lost for like 17 days, find all of our shit and be like, hey, it's my lucky day, and they just gather up everything, throw it on the camel, and just leave.
Why I
I
was
was
so
like-
hesitant to leave my shit, but at least I have everything back.
You guys
I
time
was
lapse
like,
while
wow.
talking to the druids, and all of your shit's just buried under like a mountain of sand.
No.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna heat up some coffee.
Yeah, I made some soft pretzels, so I'm gonna go grab a couple.
Oh, that sounds
Who
good.
made soft pretzels?
Hell yeah, man.
Holy
Oh
shit.
yeah,
I
by
like
the way,
one.
Mike, I'll be sending mom or dad some to you.
How are you not hitched, dude?
What?
You gotta
I gotta
you gotta
go.
get married real quick. Fucking soft pretzels, dude. That makes you an eligible bachelor, 100%. Might attract the fat chicks, but whatever.
Oh,
chicks
no,
need love, too.
I'm good. I've got
Like Quagmire says.
Fat chicks need love too. It's a true fact. It's a true
They have to
fact.
pay.
Dear God.
Oh, you've never seen Family Guy?
Oh, that's so
They
great.
have to pay.
That's a direct quote from Family Guy.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, I'm just
Perhaps
gonna say it's a
paraphrase.
Lotho original.
Sure.
Alright.
I'll take
Pissed
credit for
off.
some.
Oh, that's great. I'll be right back.
I was 100% sure, though, right there, that he was gonna say that we were level 4. He's like, congratulations. I was like, yeah.
He told us like a session ago it would take like 4 sessions or something.
Yeah.
So I wasn't getting my hopes up, but hey, you never know.
It's like every session now, he's just gonna say, congratulations. Thing. Get us all riled up. At least Billy and I.
I think it's what's the word? There's a certain juju or it's like bad luck to ask if we leveled up. So I never
Yeah.
ask. I hate asking. When people ask when in your party and stuff, it's just like, oh please don't ask. We'll never
Right.
level up.
I mean, fairness, your character wouldn't really know. Or to be in defense, I guess, at that point. Wouldn't know when you're. I mean, I guess you'd progressively feel like you're getting more attuned to your abilities, but
Hmm.
you're not gonna know exactly where you lie on that point. So you're like, holy shit, I can do this now.
You mean there's no like da 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 da
Yeah,
da 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 da. Sorry, I've been playing Final Fantasy 15. Is the map on the drive? You guys find it?
It
I don't know.
was there. It's on the
I thi-
first room.
Oh,
Yeah, I think it's-
Skyfall lobby. I've been looking in the fucking table.
yes,
room.
yeah. Skyfall lobby is where it's at.
Ah. Which one is the massive one? Must be this one.
Man, the rain was coming down like crazy a little bit ago. The sirens were going off for like an hour straight.
Is everything all right?
Yeah, there's a tornado somewhere. I don't know where it's at.
Oh,
Some crazy flooding right now. But other than that, I'm all good.
it fucking baffles me, dude. As a Canadian, I will deal with -40 winters, no problem. Fucking tornadoes scare the shit out of me. What
Yeah,
They're,
I'm
pretty,
really
they're pretty
glad I'm in-
spooky to see. I'll be completely
Like,
honest. They're
There's
pretty
nothing
creepy.
you can do about it. Like, get fucked. Like, there's no winter coat to put on. It's like, all right, well, bend over and fucking take it to Pound Town, man.
Right? Get in a ditch and hope you're good.
Yeah, it's all ogre now.
Makes me really glad I live in the mountains in the Northeast.
Yeah,
Get nothing but cold weather and snow.
must be map of Altbrek. Here it is. Ooh, baby, high def.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's a big image file.
I kept looking in the fucking table room lobby, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
couldn't find it. Felt bad. But now I have it.
There's some setting that keeps me from grabbing I couldn't get a little player token. I see you threw him out there already, but like Steve could grab a bear, and he's the one who got it for me. But I can't grab anything.
You should be able to. You just drag. That's all it is. You just.
Oh, okay. Wait, no, I didn't get that. Like, yeah, like,
Yeah, I
Like-
just did it. How do I put it back
Yeah.
though? Oh, there you go.
So
Fuck
I,
yeah.
I don't know. It might be some sort of problem with your, what's it called?
middle, like, shooter or something.
Maybe. If you need another one, like if you want the like the wolf.
I was gonna say I saw a wolf one.
There we go.
Also, I can't scale them at all.
I shall scale these. Let's see. Got the bear ones.
I go with, yeah. I don't need 2 bears, by the way. Yeah, I go direwolf and bear all the.
Everyone needs extra bear.
That's true.
Thanks for giving me a dragon.
Fuck yeah.
Are we not using the purple stuff, by the way?
Purple stuff?
Yeah, on the corner.
Oh, nope.
Okay, I'm gonna delete
I don't
that.
think so. I'm always blue.
We don't need these dice except for the raven dice.
I was yellow for Leon.
Rip.
Now he's gone. Why is there a fucking token with a rat named Carrick? Now that's offensive. I don't like that.
Wonder who put that one out.
Where is it?
It's right
Over
in front of
his
my
stuff.
yeah. It says Carrick.
Someone's having a good joke. That wasn't me.
You filthy
I
rat.
wish it was me.
Filthy rat.
Okay. Well, how's your tornado doing there, buddy? Are you okay?
Yep, all good. Crazy rain, siren stopped. All good.
Okay. This is good. Let's get back into it now that you guys have a bit of a game plan and. Ah.
Aldrin back yet?
Oh, is he not?
So.
Oh, smoke weed. I thought he returned. Right, the pretzels got him. Okay, well we'll just chill an extra minute then.
It's not like we need it.
And
So how'd
combat
that-
happens.
How'd that camel react to the ley line, by the way?
It just teleported over there and calmly allowed Aldrin to move around.
We did it with a horse before, so we knew. Because believe it or not, Aldrin has a fucking animal fixation. I think it's a fetish.
I understand
Probably.
it to a degree because it's like I don't play strength characters, so I never want to carry my own shit. You know what I mean? My carry weight is so bad. It's like, oh, whenever we have a horse, it's so convenient. I'm playing.
Yeah, but
like-
he still carries all of his shit. Like that's the first time he put anything on any beast of burden whatsoever.
Yeah, I think for him it's definitely something different. It's not like me where it's my walking, talking backpack kind of thing. For him, I think it's just. he needs
Well,
an
if you remember
animal
back to the Dryads, he was pulled away by just seeing an animal anyway, so.
buddy. Yeah, it's like, oh, a
Like,
horse.
Kaz at least had some chick.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was like a bunny like
He-
jumped into like
Yeah,
a
he
little
saw
bush.
like a bunny and he immediately followed it. Come back, friend.
Oh, that's great.
That's like, that sounded like the strum from the beginning of Friends in Low Places.
There goes the sirens again.
Uh-oh.
You're gonna die now, probably.
Oh jeez.
Oh, he's back.
Like, yeah, I'm back.
Okay. Well, shall we then? Your
We
group has
shall.
landed on the shores, and after your outlanders take a few looks around and wander a bit to confirm, you know where you are. And you have just jumped a considerable distance, and perhaps most importantly, made it all the way over or through, depending on how you want to look at interspace travel, the other side of Zarencia. So, what do you guys want to do?
Do I know which direction Zorancy is in?
Yeah, so it's like across the plains here, over towards here.
Okay, Aldrin's gonna look that way and flip it off.
Okay.
Just for like table talk here, I've got like at least 2.5 hours tonight.
Okay. Do we
Yeah.
have more or less of that? Or rather,
Way
do we have
more.
less of that?
I'm good with 2.5.
Perfect.
Same.
Could go further too. I had 20 ounces of espresso, so we'll see how well till I can sleep.
Yeah.
Poor son of a bitch. Okay, yeah, no, 9's probably good. I've been waking up a little bit earlier, so that's probably not a bad idea. Alright, so which direction are you guys going in? The forest is near, according to the map, though whether you want to go into the little area that's close by, which is towards Dio's outpost, or if you want to keep going and then turn, who knows?
Let's head up to Pine's Edge. We've never
I was
been
just
there
say,
before.
definitely stay away from Dios Outpost.
Okay.
We
Need to
skipped
hang in
by
that
Pike's
direction.
Edge, right?
Yeah,
walked
we
by
skipped
it. Yeah, okay.
No one knows who we are there.
Alright, so let's see.
Go back to Nestock where we all met.
Let's roll some dice.
You and I met in Emil's basket.
Bugbears! Bugbears
Yeah.
everywhere!
Fuck bears.
Fuck bears.
Are you
That's
saying
like a
fuck bears or
terrible
bug
fight.
bears?
Bug.
Oh,
What I
I
thought.
Bugbears.
The hell's a fuck bear?
was about to say the same thing.
The druid looks over and raises an eyebrow.
Can only find them in particular bars.
So, before that happens, 2 days travel go by, and there we go. Let me pull up the sheet. You guys eventually make it into the town of Pine's Edge, one of the smaller towns that can be located in Freehold, and one that you had passed by but not checked out. This seems to be... There we go. A relatively small town. Maybe a few thousand people live here, and as you kind of wander over, you're not greeted to the sight of like a large stone wall or anything like that. It's just a bunch of wooden houses, some with thatched roofs, other with wooden roofs, and you would guess that industry here is largely related to the woodworking from the forest beyond. You can see towards the edge of the city here, as you guys kind of like wander and make your way through town, that there's quite a bit in terms of like logging mills and things like that. And you bump into the occasional passerby who kind of gives you guys like a pleasant wave and whatnot, and everyone seems to be more or less part of the common folk.
Can I ask one of them just what day it is?
Oh, sure, yeah, absolutely. Let's
Let's
see.
do it, guys. Attempt number 3 at the calendar.
Attempt number 3. So it is... the 87th of winter.
Holy shit.
How many
Wow,
days
time
are in a
flew by.
season?
100.
100.
Nice and easy.
For reference, guys, after, I'm assuming our first cult battle, it was the 27th of winter. So,
And
equivalent of like
Dio's
3 months has passed by.
wasn't like our entry to Dio was like 2 days prior to winter?
Yeah.
Yep.
So almost a
Oh.
whole season has gone by since you got into Dio's outpost and then leading up to the point now.
How about
You were
Noctis?
sick on the first
Caw,
of winter.
this, what the fuck is that, dude?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Pas bon, ça c'est pas bon.
So if it's only 2 years, it'll go by real quick for this vision shit.
Yeah, I
Let's
mean,
just
for
fucking
fe-
have like a boys camping trip for a few months.
Dude, let's just teleport between the lakes. Keep on just doing that.
Fuck you, Theo.
Yeah, so it appears, if your calculation is correct, Verth, that the amount of time that you have where magical scrying, so some of Theo's tools, won't work, might actually be a lot shorter than you think it is.
Oh shit, like the whole
Oh,
shroud lasts
The shroud
only 2 years.
only lasts 2 years too.
The shroud lasts 2 years.
Uh
Oh,
oh.
I thought it
fuck.
was only the illness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Fuck. Okay, well,
Alright.
We better
No
no
camping
more,
trip.
no more camping trip, guys. What the fuck?
Yeah, you guys aren't like immune to magical scrying forever now. You have that and the eye sickness until they both wear off at the end of 2 years.
Well, we
Unless
should
we can
really
get something done with the.
onto this quest.
What's this place called? Pines what? The marker's like
Pines
right on
Edge.
top of it. Edge? Okay.
Guys, table talk. I mean, I guess I could be saying it in person too, but whatever. It's what is Theo objecting to? You guys know? Because I'm thinking he met us at a blight site. He didn't stop us from killing the blight. He only
That's true.
wanted to kill us once we were on a path to get the shroud, which would effectively render him blind from us. And not even really, because he still has his pet, but his pet has to find us.
So I'm gonna guess
Yeah.
you guys are chatting about this like tucked in like an alleyway, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
if we're
Yeah.
Yeah, not like in the open.
Okay, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, interesting point.
So, and putting on my terrible accent. So, if it's not for the blight, why does Theo have such a hot-on for us?
Could just be opposition to Eridan in general.
No, I mean, I don't believe that. Because if it was opposition to Eridan, his main quest, the Shroud, was, yes, a kind of pleasant suggestion of his. I mean, we don't know. Eridan, the Shroud might be part of a big plan for him. Maybe he's going to send us on something that is oppositional to Theo. But Theo watched us strike a blight from the forest just north of here, and he didn't seem all that bothered by it.
Maybe
In fact, he gave us work right after.
maybe
Could
he was
just be
testing
that-
our potential, and maybe he just has more of a hard-on for great souls in general. I don't know,
That could be it.
because he's after
Yeah, he may.
souls. We know that.
Yeah, he
Well,
probably
didn't
expect
if he
us
was
to
after our
survive.
souls, I mean, why equip us? Why give us challenges that are going to make us stronger? Why not just kill us outright as soon as he met us? Or put us in an impossible contract where our souls were on the line and trap us and kill us? I mean,
He thought that's what he was doing. I mean, we were pretty fresh when we took on that. Like, not like we're renowned adventurers or anything.
I'm not. You see,
So
here's
may-
the thing. It's bizarre. He knew that puzzle box. I think I have to assume he knew the puzzle box was in that blight, and he wanted us to retrieve it. And he knew we would have to destroy the blight to get it. Eridan wants the same thing. So I don't buy the whole challenge thing. I mean, I know he did that with the Mace Legion, and it's a possibility for sure. But I think there was 1,000 different ways he could have gotten our souls if that was it, if that's what he was really after. I think he wants to keep an eye on us. And I think him being blind to great souls wandering Skyfall is a threat to him, because he's no longer able to predict our impact on his plans. He can't steer us in the right or wrong direction. We're now just kind of an element of a question mark, if you will, in Theo's machinations.
A liability to him.
That's right. So you know, if I had a bunch of important but naive individuals running amok, taking quests and jobs from any person, including Theo. I mean, that's a judgment of our character, by the way, taking a contract from Theo. He must presume that we're pretty much in it for adventuring, for improvement, and for whatever kind of tickles our fancy at any given time. So for him, that might be a threat, because if we fall into the wrong hands, then we become oppositional. So I think it's just, for him, we're no longer a piece on the board that he controls. And I think that's become a problem for him. I don't think it's opposition to Eridan, because why send us after the Blight? First place. Anyways, just a thought. I'm not sure what you guys think about it.
Not
He's-
sure that he had like intentions for us from the outright, because if you remember, I mean, we kind of just stumbled upon him. He wasn't He didn't just
No.
appear to us. I mean, we found that orb in an orc camp, and then you said the magic words, and boom, there he is.
Now, I correct me if I'm wrong. I don't have the greatest memory, but it did seem like he was quite happy to be summoned. Now, of course, that could just be Soul summoning a fiend for a contract, but knew who we were to a certain extent. I don't know. Anyways, to me, I think it's proven with the Mace Legion and our little run in south of Dio's outpost. Underestimating Theo is a critical mistake in our plans.
I definitely agree with you there.
We have to assume that he knew we were Great Souls. We have to assume that the summoning for him was just convenience. We don't even know if Theo's orb wasn't put there by Theo himself. It could have just been planted there, knowing that we would summon him eventually. So at the end of the day, for me, I think the moment we gathered together, 4 Great Souls wandering, he must have had his eye on us. And I know you might have brought up the point that it wasn't his intention for us to go after the Blight specifically, but he clearly wasn't offended, or it wasn't in his grand scheme to defend the Blight itself. For him, it was just a vessel that was in the way of this puzzle box that we retrieved for him. So, Eridan's plan is to safeguard these kind of vestiges of nature, restore the druid's power over these places, and strike the blight from them. I don't think Theo gives a shit about the woods.
I'd have
he
to
just-
I'd have to disagree. He does seem awfully interested whenever we talked about Eridan.
Yeah, I
For
mean,
whatever
his
reason,
words-
honestly, it doesn't matter why. We just need to be aware that I don't know, talking
I mean-
out of my ass.
No,
Kind of-
but it's fair. I mean, you're right.
Kind of paraphrasing here, but he said that.
I hear notes.
Good call.
Oh yeah. That I didn't write down the right notes, but I vaguely recall that he said that these guys are agents of Eridan. When I asked him specifically about these druids, and that Eridan seems to have plans for us, and that he has to kill us. So there's definitely some connection to Eridan and his need to kill us, his desire to kill us all of a sudden, or at least eliminate us. So I definitely agree with you that we need to not underestimate him and definitely keep him forward in our thoughts. But
Even
I-
the
go ahead.
Mursan cult made it very clear that they knew that we were sent by Theo, agents
And
of
remember,
the
too-
Deceiver. They called Theo out.
remember too that Theo's not just a lackey; he works for a greater fiend. So it's
Well-
possible that this other greater fiend has some sort of list of all the great souls, and
Or
I don't
was
know.
just finding them. I think
Yeah.
that's a fair point. I guess to correct what I was saying, I don't think Theo's objection is to the blight, but maybe Eridan has a plan further down the road that conflicts with Theo's.
yeah, I agree.
And
that.
I think that us not being seen by him or not being able to be tracked by Theo means that he has no idea how far along we are. What he might do is try to find these blights and wait for us. Anyways, just kind of food for thought. But at this point, I guess all we can do is proceed with striking the blights, getting aid from the druids in Freehold, trying to see if we can move from one druidic circle to another, striking the blights, and then once we're prepared, maybe heading up north and contacting Eridan to see what the next part of the plan is.
I almost think that it would be. Yo, go ahead.
I'd say if we find a blight, and if we dispatch it, we need to clear out immediately.
Oh, you're absolutely right.
Because that's kind of a
I-
telltale sign that we're there.
I think our main mission should probably be moving towards this Temple of Eridan and seeing if we can get some sort of contact with him.
But
Rather
why?
than,
We
like-
we are we already know what the plan is. The eagle told us to strike the blight from the land, and we were told to get the shroud. So I don't see the point of going up there before striking the blight. We might just piss off Eridan. It's kind of like skipping a chore.
Well, I mean, one, we don't know how many blights there. I mean, maybe we're thinking too far ahead, and we should see what we can get out of.
The druids.
We can find these druids of this particular
they're
forest, and
alive.
B, if they have any sort of information on maybe where these are, or any other way, or maybe we can find another grove where kind of try and contact Eridan again.
If they're more social than those bastards down south, then they'll at least be aware of what's going on in the land. Unless they're just as isolated, in which case they're not going to be of much help at all. But given that Freehold's on the border of Normantar, maybe they'll be able to start forging a relationship with the elves. Because keep in mind, we cannot go to that ruin without making friends first. And I don't think being a half-breed to the elves is going to be enough for me to get in, let alone a dwarf and
They-
the Dragonborn.
They like dwarves, right?
I can attest that my father did just absolutely loathe them, so I'm guessing that no, they're not friends. Although Table Talk, Nomentar isn't High Elves, it's Wood Elves, right?
Yes.
It's Wood Elves. Down
Yeah.
south is where the High Elves are, in
Yeah.
like Ariandor.
And to be
it's
clear, the
called?
High Elves don't like anyone that's not a High Elf.
Right.
They
Right,
treat
right.
the Wood Elves and the Drow as kind of like their retarded cousins. Like they're like, we'll deal with you and maybe give you like a chance to not be put underneath our boot, but like everybody else is instantly just filth to them.
Because they used to rule the world and now they don't. They're a little butthurt. Okay.
They're super butthurt about humanity beating them due to technicality.
So if
Halflings
anything,
in general have like good relations with humans, dwarves, and elves, though.
halflings, yes.
So I'm good.
Yeah,
Put me
you're-
in front
you're
trying
good,
to
but
talk to them.
If
but
anything, my half-elf like lineage could fucking hurt us, and the dwarves too. Well, the dwarves maybe less. Now that it's the wood elves, because I have to get the player's handbook out of my head. We're not in the Forgotten Coast.
No. So
It's
if
a
you have a
different
question
story.
about something like that, do ask, and I'll tell you what you may know. There may be rolls.
Speaking
Yes,
of
I
the
guess-
grove, I want to look at Lotho real quick, and I want to look at what pretty pictures are on his little coat.
Ah. Lotho's coat has many a pretty picture on it. You can see what looks like little daggers and things like that. There's quite a few. You can also see there's some others. One of them looks like it might be a scroll. Another one looks like a little pouch almost, like a little bag. You see one that has like a picture of a couple dogs on it. Like there's a whole bunch of them.
Okay.
to avoid metagaming, I make some sort of like an intelligence roll, see if I can infer anything about this.
Sure. Like just about what? The nature of your coat?
Yeah.
Sure, make an insight roll. You guys are rolling like
13.
trash tonight, by the way.
Right?
When do we not roll trash? We roll decent in combat, and the moment
I
we
rolled-
get out of combat, we get fucking anal raped.
Uh-huh.
Death saving throws, I roll pretty well.
I think it's Tuesday's group. They just use up all the 20s, and then you guys get
Yeah.
fucked over.
We have fucking Wheaton syndrome, bastard.
So, yeah, 13.
13. Okay. You don't have proficiency in insight, I see. So, you're not entirely sure what to make of the coat. It's clearly magical, and the items on it, they seem relevant. Like, they must be either related to the powers of the cloak, but you're not sure in what way exactly.
Sorry for the tangent. How are we gonna find these druids?
That's up to Lotho. I mean, keeps pointing at weird shit in the ground and saying that's a sign, so no idea what that means, but I guess they have
Weirder
some
than
way
the
to
shit you
communicate.
talk when we're in the city.
No, I
Um,
realize that, but whenever we walk around, sometimes you see weird scribbles or some shit, and apparently it's some kind of language. So I think that might be our best bet, is what I was trying to tell
Yeah,
Verve.
yeah. I think we need to get into the woods at least. I don't know if there's anything of value in this town we're in right now.
So you've passed by a couple of larger buildings, and let's roll luck here. You've seen a couple of areas of possible interest. One of which is the City Hall, which looks like it's very, very well made and also quite large, and you can hear noises that come from a back-end building attached to it that sounds like a woodworking shop where saws are currently working busily away. You also saw what looks like, let's see here. Yes. You also see what looks like like an archer's shop, like a fletching shop. It has a little sign outside of it that says a straight shot. And apart from that, that's about it. There might be more, but given that you guys have only kind of just taken a moment to look around and your vision and everything, those are the two places that you've seen so far.
Anybody
What do
need
you want?
anything? Or are we gonna pass right through?
Besides food, I mean, I hear it's quite taxing for Lotho to keep summoning those good berries, but I think we're back in civilization, so to speak. You and Aldrin should be able to get us some food, right?
I don't know. It is winter after all.
Try and scavenge something.
Guess it
That and it
depends.
should be
Might have
easier
to
to
hunt
find it in
a
the
little
forest
bit,
than the
but
desert.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Okay, well, it's Lotho's game at this point. He's gonna know how to contact them. Clearly, he was able to find a bunch of shrouded druids down south, so Lotho, lead the way.
actually, hold
Oh?
the phone. Is there any? Would I know if in Freehold, are there like messengers that go between town to town?
Oh, yes,
Like a-
couriers do exist.
Can we send a quick letter?
Oh, interesting. Let's see here. Okay. Wandering around town, you do find what looks like a small courier service here. It's barely really more than a small stable attached to like a little shack. The likes of which you've seen in a town here and there while traveling throughout the lands. And you can courier a message from one place to another. What do you want to send?
What was the name of that shop in Dio's Outpost that we burst into with Carrick's girlfriend?
Yes, that one didn't have a name. It just said the general store.
I bet she fucking named it.
Tasting a little bit of, like there's some salt in the air.
Without Carrick seeing, I'm gonna scribble a little note saying, "Hey, sorry for the trouble. Here's a couple gold."
Without me seeing, that's
Yep.
gonna be a tough call.
I'm
homie.
trying to like shield
I
my
got,
body
I
and
got,
like
I got
scribble
eyes
something.
of an eagle, baby. Not anymore. Well, with the 30
First
feet, I
go
do.
31
30
feet
I do.
away and write the letter.
Yeah.
Hey, can I anybody have like 5 gold I can borrow? I'll pay you back someday.
Yeah, I've got 5 gold you can have.
Maybe 5 more gold, 10 gold.
10 gold? Alright.
We did kind of trash.
I'm
And I'll-
fucking broke, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna put it in the letter, seal it,
Okay.
I'll sign it anonymously, but she's gonna know who we are.
Okay.
And I'm gonna ask them to send it to the general store in Dio's Outpost.
Okay. They charge you a small fee asking for a single gold piece as payment to send this that far.
All right.
Okay. And with that, you're given a smile, and the note is taken and stowed away.
All right, I'm good to go. Sorry about that.
No problem.
I think secretly Verth wants her to be his girlfriend.
Yo.
Honor, man.
Why you Myron, son?
Honor or hope
It's
of
like she never
prostitution?
says a word. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Trying to get 2 women. You got the one
Five
chicken
out of
Theo's
7.
outpost.
Okay, so you send that off, and with that, what's the group gonna do here?
In table talk. Was it just in the desert where we couldn't find food, or
It was
is it
just
just
in the
with
desert.
with the season? It's
Just in the desert. Though your Outlander feature doesn't work exactly as you would want here, you do
Yeah.
have to basically roll survival in order to find food, given how harsh the winter is. But you still have a
Okay.
chance, whereas somebody without would have to roll like obscenely high.
all right.
So if you
And
guys
there's 2
want
of you.
to, you can do that.
Yeah, I'd be down to try and search.
Yep, and if we can't find anything, we'll just use Goodberry.
Okay, so while the 2 of you go out into the winter forest here to find some stuff, Carrick and Lotho, what'll you be up to? Are you gonna go with them?
I'm gonna be
I'm not
useless.
Yeah, I'm not
So-
going to be much help there.
Are we-
It
are
may
we
be
camped?
worth.
Huh, I got stuff.
I think we're still in Pines, whatever, Pines Edge, Pines Edge, right?
Okay.
So
It's like surrounded by the forest and has a large swath of land that spreads out towards the east, which is just like clear cut.
maybe worth it to maybe even just ask around and see if there's any like lore of druids exist, like druidic.
Oh, like get the lay of
Groups
land,
or
get some
anything.
rumors, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Where would
I'm gonna-
where would you go? Who do you want?
I'm gonna
talk
tell Lothar to be careful and not to disclose any important
to?
information
Heard of
about us.
Theo?
Yeah.
We're on
by
a
the way,
mission from God.
God. Would that be like a survival check?
Yeah. So both of you, please roll a
Okay.
survival check.
Okay,
And
I
meanwhile-
did. I got a 16.
Okay, that's good. And
11.
okay. The 2 of you managed to actually find some food in there, and both of you, you're running into hard times when it comes to finding berries and the like. But you do manage to walk away with what you think might be a couple of edible tubers and also some hares that you've caught in a nearby den. So you guys can make those up into something nice that's not good berries for once.
Boil and mash them. Stick 'em in
Beautiful.
a stew.
That's the one. So meanwhile,
Oh.
Carrick, you're going to be useless, as you mentioned. And Lotho, how do you want to get this info? What do you want to do? Where do you want to go?
First, I kind of want to discuss it with Carrick a little bit, see if what you think about whether or not it's how maybe we should approach this before just like diving head on it.
Look, Lotho, I'll be honest with you. I've got severe sense of anxiety right now. I can't see anything coming. So I'm just gonna find a nice little nook. My dagger's close, and wait for the 2 to come back. This is not something I'm accustomed to. Usually, I've always been able to at least rely on my eyes more than anything. So, with regards
What do
to
you-
that, that's just where I'm going to be. As for you
What do you say we
inquiring,
try and find like a inn or tavern, see if there's one in this place?
I'm not even thinking that, to be honest. I'm thinking of just staying in some alley and just trying to find a. I realize that maybe I'm coming off as paranoid when it comes to Theo, but I truly believe right now that he has no idea where we are, and he is going to be fucking furious, and he's going to be using his resources to try to get eyes on us. And the more we show ourselves in any capacity, the more likely he is to find us. And even if it's just a sighting 3 days after the fact, he'll know roughly where we are. But right now, I'm staying off the fucking grid. If you think that you need some information to find the druids, and I'm leaving that entirely in your expertise, then I think it's worth going to find them. Find someone, at least for rumors and the like. But I suggest that you put your hood up, because right now you're not exactly inconspicuous. You've got some weird robe that looks stitched together by a 5-year-old with a bunch of pictures on it. Um,
That's exactly what it looks like.
you're a halfling in this part of the world, which, I mean, yeah, you'll see some, but you know, it's not exactly super common. And at the same time, not like you're armored or anything like that. So if Theo has put any kind of descriptor out whatsoever for our party, you most of all are going to stick out. Maybe, actually, maybe Verth might stick out a bit more. But anyways, so it's a risk versus rewards type of situation. If you think that finding these druids up north is going to be difficult enough that we can warrant the risk and try to get some rumors, then I think that's your call. And if you need me to come with you, then I can make that sacrifice. But at this point, I'll be honest, for one of the few times in my life, been disarmed of my only tools in the form of my eyes, and I have a fiend that can teleport and pay anyone what they want after me. So I'm going to be hiding like a rat.
So throughout that whole thing, Lotho's face kind of just grows. I guess I'll say a little more confident. I guess moving a bit from doubt and I don't want to say caution, but like that to like realizing that the desert druids, totally, like we're pretty sure about the existence of druids and realizing the logic of what you're saying, Carrick. I think you're probably right, actually. That
Look, if you can find some druids that are literally renowned amongst not just people but druids themselves as being notably elusive, I have 100% confidence in you that you'll be able to find the circle up north if they're alive.
yeah. Say we just go for it. We'll wait till they come back, lay low, because you're right. There's no way that he didn't put feelers out, especially disappearing like that. So yeah, I'll hunker down and wait for them.
Quickly, while we're out searching for food too, am I able to find like tinder or lumber and stuff like that, just so we can have that on like the side of the camel?
You can, yes, and you can
For
definitely
fire and
add
stuff.
some tinder to your camel's pack.
Fuck yeah.
So, out here, you eventually come back and meet the group. They've huddled not just into the alleyway there from before, but behind some crates and whatnot. It takes you a moment to find them. They're very sort of hidden away. And you also note that it kind of takes a while to trace your steps through town, just given how bad your vision is. But you are now reunited, and you have the ability to cook this up and make something to eat.
Make a crude little meal and be on our way.
Yeah.
So where are you going then?
I'm going to suggest that we go out into the woods and that we get out of here ASAP,
Into here?
incognito style. I'm thinking
Good idea
like
would be
there, but
Yeah, to head towards where where we got the puzzle box, where we bought the first blight.
Interesting. Okay. So the group travels out, and you go to revisit an area that you've been to before. It might take a day or two, but it's not too far off, and you'll even be able to travel on some roads along the way, which will make things speedier. But, while you're traveling, I need everybody to please roll perception.
We had any sort of disadvantage on that?
yeah, I was gonna ask.
No, you do not.
Oh, get a roll.
Oh damn it!
My
got a
best roll of the
21.
night is perfectly average.
Okay.
I got
That
a
is
19.
a 16 for me.
11.
19 for Lotho.
Okay. Curiously, while you're traveling, you notice something, a bit of color that comes into your vision, and as you're moving forward, all of you see that there's a little shrub which looks like it's still intact and hasn't completely been decimated by winter, and that's when you see that written in the movements of its leaves is some druidic Lotho. And the druidic says... 2 seconds here. Ah. It says, tread with caution. The pillar forest is under our guard. So, what's the plan?
Lotho, do you share that with us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just
Oh,
writing notes. Yeah, I tell you guys everything, or what it says.
So what now?
I assume this means it's a good sign that we're on the right path.
Or is it a warning? Are they upset that we took out their trash earlier?
Evil druids? Is there such a thing?
Yes.
I have a hard time believing that.
Well, I don't think we have much of a choice. We weren't attacked when we hit the blight. It wasn't defended by any druids, so we have no reason to believe that any evil druids are protecting the woods. So, in my opinion, it's probably just a friendly but firm warning regarding that it's under the protection of a nearby druid circle, and to kind of approach that with a degree of respect, right, Lotho?
Yeah, but the fact that they put it in terms that only a druid would understand I would say it would be a reason for pause. Perhaps figure out what our next step is and figure it out carefully. Because it's not like some random guy stumbles through and sees this and is going to understand what it means. Like they're speaking directly to druids.
Fair point. I mean, to me, it's not exactly suspicious. In the rogue world,
Yeah, I don't-
we don't leave signs broadcasting our location, right? If there's a sign of a warning regarding our area of control, and we put it in common tongue or ways that everyone can see, then they know exactly where we are.
Yeah, I don't think it's a threat. I think it's just like a warning.
Huh. Okay.
What's the worst that could happen? Let's go.
What Veth said.
Okay. So you continue traveling off in this direction, and while you do, you eventually hear a sound. Off in the distance beyond your vision, you think you see a shape move, and you hear what sounds like horse hooves.
I'd like to say I'm super paranoid, by the way, so I'm like constantly just using my ears, even if I have to close my eyes and trying to rely on my other senses
Okay.
while we're walking.
You are now well into the forest. Its large pine trees extend up, just leaving a hall of these like pillars in every direction. And off in the distance, you think that you hear perhaps horse hooves moving about. What do you guys want to do? It sounds like they could be maybe 100, maybe 200 feet off.
Are we on any sort of path, or we're just like in the forest, right?
Yeah, so right now you have left the road here and are traveling a little bit through the wilderness. So if you look at the map, you're like in the area between these two roads. Like right there.
So,
guys-
quietly I'll be like,
Oh, sorry.
I think we should probably maybe make ourselves somewhat, try and hide ourselves and
Lay low.
see what this is. Yeah,
Stealthing.
Sure.
yeah. That's what we want to do. I'm gonna cast Pass Without a Trace on us.
Good call.
Interesting. So you cast the spell on yourselves, and a voice calls out, and I have to make a brief look towards a page of mine here.
Uh-oh.
Everybody understands the words that are said. They're spoken in Elvish, except for Aldrin, who does not speak the language of the elves.
Filthy elves.
And the voice calling out says, "You're not very good at hiding." And you hear a couple more horse hooves that move in your direction. It's clearly a female's voice, and it comes from the direction of these horse hooves.
I'm going to go to the back of the party and try to just
Load the
Disappear.
crossbow.
disappear into the shadows behind them, try to just melt
Oh
away.
yeah, okay. Yeah, there's some trees nearby and whatnot. Do you want to make a stealth check?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is she talking to us?
Gorgeous. Let the good rolls continue.
Did you just get a 1?
Yep.
Roll a dexterity saving throw for me.
Yeah.
Another one.
Okay.
No, it's not another one. I'm kidding. It's a 17.
You stumble on the ground for a brief moment, almost tripping, but then kind of like catch yourself. But it's clear that you're not hidden, and you hear a giggle from off in the distance.
Fucking elves.
Just I want to shout out in Druidic, friend or foe?
Maybe both. And soon coming into vision for those of you that have at least 60 feet, you see a female centaur step into your vision.
Hello, nurse.
This is like Aldrin's wet dream.
Oh, yeah, Yeah, Aldrin's gonna go back out with that dryad.
No, for Aldrin it would be like a pony or something, and then the other half would be like a dwarven woman.
As the camel just sobs in the background.
You can see that this woman, despite her voice, which sounds melodious, almost like a song or a choir, she is equipped to the teeth and wears not only plate armor on her upper half here, but like a warhorse has banding all over her the rest of her, and has weapons that hang from her armor as well. You can see spears, swords, longbow over back, everything.
I'm hiding behind a tree and with my hand crossbow, just my back to it, waiting for shit to hit the fan.
Okay.
Even though I have no
it.
indication of that, but
Your friends will take the
Carrick
first
right
hit.
yeah,
I'll
Carrick
hold
right
up
now
my
cannot
hands.
see even the 60 feet, so he has no idea what's coming.
I'll hold up my hand and say, "Whoa, we don't mean any harm. Who are you?"
Okay. The Elvish continues, and she says, "I may give you my name, but these are my woods that you're traveling in. How about you give me yours first?"
I'm Runt.
I am Aldrin, and this is my camel.
Say I'm Lotho, but I'm gonna say it in Druidic.
When you say that, she gives you a look for a second. And then it's almost like she gives you like a brief bow. Like she pauses for a second and lowers her head in your direction. And Carrick, do you give your name?
I'm quiet behind the tree right now.
Okay. She continues to move forward, and eventually, if you peer past the tree, Carrick, and who's the other one with 30 vision? Is that Verth?
Aldrin.
No, that's Aldrin.
That's
yeah,
Aldrin.
So the two of you can now see as well this same centaur that comes towards you, and she gives your group a look and says, "My name is Kina. I watch over these woods, along with many others."
Is that your message that we came across at the bush scrub a while ago? Caution.
No, I'm not in the habit of leaving messages around. But I saw you traveling here from Pine's Edge and thought you might be perhaps some woodworkers who had lost their way.
Well,
Actually, oh, go ahead.
we're no woodworkers. We can assure you that.
I know, it was a joke. I saw your friend's cloak and thought that I might come and speak to you.
cloak attracted you? About it.
She looks at you for a second and she says, "You're a strange bunch. You don't know what that is, do you?
I have no clue.
And how did you come into possession of such a cloak?"
I'm gonna shout, or not shout, but whisper behind the tree, "Careful, Lotho."
Gift.
I see. Well, if you wish to keep it to yourself, then you can. Well, I trust that you're not in this area to cause any trouble to the forest, are you? Say it, and if I
Wait.
believe you, I shall let you be.
Quite the opposite. For the druids that may protect this forest, if they are in fact still around, even existed in the first place.
The circle of the forest is still here. Well, I shall let you all go back to your business then. And then with that, she starts to turn around and starts to trot away.
Hold on.
She looks over her shoulder and stops.
I'm sorry. Do you know where they are?
Whom? Sorry? The druids.
The druids, yes.
I can take you to them.
We'd be grateful.
You understand this may be your death.
Why is that?
The druids are a secretive lot. They don't even meet with the folks in Pine's Edge without using a messenger. If they don't like you, then I can't say exactly what might happen.
Well, they might not like me, but Lotho, they might like you.
She pauses there, staring at your group expectantly to see what you'll say.
Lads,
Willing to go? What about the rest of you?
Yeah.
From behind
Garrett!
the tree.
come on out.
I'm gonna step forward. I'm kind of like just an animal that is not at ease right now with this whole vision thing. Can I insight check her?
Interesting. Yeah, go ahead and roll insight and tell me what it is that you want to know.
Before I roll, then, what I want to know is if she seems like there's an ulterior motive, specifically in regards to wanting to trap us or kill us.
Ah, okay. Well, if there's time to roll high, now would be one of those. So I'm sure, given your group's history...
There it is.
You have no idea what her motives might be.
That's an 11.
Yep, you're clueless. She doesn't seem like she's threatening or anything like that, and genuinely seems to be treating you in a nice manner.
So, not gripping her weapons. Smile doesn't seem creepy to me.
Indeed.
Alright.
On then.
Okay. She starts to trot, and as she does, she moves at a fairly slow pace that your group might keep up with her, and she chit-chats with you a little bit along the way as you're led deeper and deeper into the forest. And
I'm ignoring, by the way. I'd like to perception check all around me while we're walking.
okay, yeah, that's fair. Go ahead and roll that perception check.
Oh, we'll get higher than a 1. Hey.
That is, that's a 24.
Okay. You don't really hear anything at first. In fact, the forest is rather quiet, but then as you start to go in further, you get the feeling that you hear horse hooves very, very faintly off in the distance. And then another set, and then another set, and by the time that you've been traveling for a little while, you feel like you must be surrounded by these centaurs.
I'm gonna walk up to each individually, of my party members as she's chit-chatting or whatever,
Mhm.
and inform them that A, we're surrounded, and B, there's a lot more of them.
Okay. So, speaking
Can
to
I-
your group. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, ask if I could roll like insight just to get like a general vibe on like this female centaur.
Sure, go ahead and roll that insight for me.
And I'm whispering this to them. Do you need me to roll like a stealth, or is it just a whisper?
Certainly, yeah. If you want to keep it from her, then roll stealth.
Yeah, I do.
14 on my insight.
Oh, that was supposed to be a
14 on the insight, okay.
That's an 11 for me.
Okay. You try to be quiet. You're not sure if it has worked or not. It doesn't feel like your best work, so you're not sure. But she is trying to lead you somewhere. And that was a 14 for the insight check on her motives, right?
Yeah, just to get like a general vibe, especially like listening to what she's talking about.
Okay. So,
General realm of conversation.
it seems as though Kina seems to treat you like welcome guests almost, and the line of her conversation is very much topics of little interest, pleasant chat between two villagers, one could say. She turns over towards your group and asks, "So, what are you doing in these forests?" and things like that, and you've been doing all right with the weather the way it is, and just small talk, more or less.
Okay.
What do you tell her when she asks you what it is that you're doing in the forest?
Meant to mute my mic.
Lotho?
Guess I get a pretty good vibe off of her for right now. So, I'll say that we're checking to see like the overall, I guess, condition of the forest. Like we've heard of these, like we've heard of the blights and the negative effects they have on the forest, and checking to see what the like just basically just checking up on the forest.
She pauses and turns to you and says, "You know of these blights?"
You. What do you know of them?
That they're troublesome. That the druids haven't been pleased as of late. We're almost there.
What do you mean they haven't been pleased? Know what may have set them off?
They treat this area like their home, so to have something so foul and grotesque here is off-putting, I guess you could say.
There's something here? Another? Is there a blight here somewhere?
If there is, I'm sure they'll tell you. Though they know more than I ever will.
I insight check that to see if holding anything back.
Sure. Yeah, roll that other insight check.
14.
You get the sense that this may not be truth, but she believes it to be truth, and genuinely thinks that the druids know more.
But she doesn't know anything about whether or not there's another.
Yes, she seems to be unaware of another one.
Okay.
After that, there's a strange occurrence that happens. Out of a bush nearby, you see what looks like a robed figure suddenly steps around, and wearing a set of green robes, someone holds up a hand towards the group, and Kina as well. She says, "Well, I can take you no further. Best of luck," and then turns around and starts to trot off. And as she begins to do so, you can hear like the thunderous sound of other hooves meeting with her, and it's just like this large set of hooves that just go off towards the distance, and you're left standing in front of this figure with green robes.
Thank you, Kina.
Goodbye!
Is the green on the druid's robes the same green as the one on my tabard?
The shade is indeed the same.
Okay, perfect.
This
His
figure
robe
approaches
similar
you
to mine.
and gives your group a brief look. Doesn't say anything, though. And the only thing you can really see from under the hood is like a masculine-looking chin.
I'll give him a little bow.
Kinda feeling more at ease recognizing the color. I'm gonna try to get out of my anxiety shell here for a second and just be, hello, my name's Carrick. We have Verth, Lotho, and Aldrin. We've just come from the crowded druidic circle in the deserts down south, and were chosen by Erudin to strike the blight from these lands. We're looking for help, if you can offer it.
There's an awkward pause, and the figure doesn't respond immediately, just standing there for a second. You guys say anything else?
Lotho, do you want to try and druidic? Assuming he's not gonna entertain us all day without.
No, obviously. Fuck.
You can try just inducing us like I did in druidic, see what happens. I think I can tell by the tabard. It's the same that Erudin's been repairing on mine. Must be a follower, so as long as he knows that that's who we are and that we've come with a shroud, I mean, I'm sure he can tell the effects on us already. So I think those are pieces of evidence that should be sufficient for him.
Yeah, I will, in Druidic, reintroduce us. Say also that we seek to aid Erudin, and doing so also aid this forest and others that may be affected by sort of cancerous blight.
The figure responds in Druidic, saying, "Sorry, brother. I had to be careful at first. There are dark workings in this land as of late." From what circle do you hail? Come here on behalf of other druids, or of your own whim?
It was recommended we first with the shrouded druids of the desert. They recommended that upon finding out that we had aided in taking down one of the blights in this forest, we seek you out to see if you can help us at all.
Yes, the eagle spoke of you. Come. I'll take you to the grove. Feel at ease, and you as well. And he looks over at you, Carrick. Says, "You're in good hands."
Thank you. And my shoulders kind of relax.
You're led forth and taken off towards an area where the trees begin to part and a clearing opens up, and you see what looks like a rock face that extends maybe 10 or 20 feet out of a grass hill and then produces a waterfall that goes down into a small little spring which seems to trickle off into the distance. And here you can see all manner of small creatures. It's like the majority of them have grouped here instead of being out in the rest of the forest. Those snow falls here, it seems to be much less, and you can see like little bits of greenery and whatnot that continue to live here despite the cold elsewhere. And in fact, it does feel almost a little bit warmer as you make your way here, though clearly quite cold. You can see other figures that are in green here, tending to the animals and speaking amongst themselves, and they briefly turn their hoods towards you before turning back to their business. And the one nearby takes off his hood to speak with you. Though he has no facial hair, his hair up top is clearly quite gray and almost like white with age, and he has many a wrinkle on him. And he says to you, "My name is Barian. It's good to meet you all."
Pleasure.
Greetings.
Nice meeting you too.
So it was you that cleared that blight.
One and only.
Was.
I get the sense that there are things that you don't know.
Oh, you're just
Yeah.
getting that now? Yeah.
Sorry, I don't mean to be rude.
Oh, no, we're completely and woefully ignorant, so unfortunately the Druid Circle down south was a bit isolated and quite frustrating, at least to me. So while they were of some help, they ended up crippling us and our capabilities quite a bit simultaneously with this so-called gift of a shroud. So any guidance that you can offer, much appreciated.
A look of recognition flashes over his face when you mention this, and it's clear that he knows of this shroud that you speak of. He says, "You've been blessed by the druids in Brown, then." Something
Blessed.
must be afoot.
And I literally air quote.
He says, "I've heard legend of the shroud. Was it not? It helps prying eyes from seeing you, does it not? Shields you
Yeah.
from evil?"
Oh,
Comes
it
with
does.
certain side effects.
And
While
I can't
taking-
see more than 30 feet in front of my face, so...
That is unfortunate. Well,
It may have blinded others, but it has blinded us as well.
well, I guess some blessings come with a curse attached. I should be to the point. Chances are that whatever work you have need of doing must be done in a very timely manner. We know about this blight that you've cleared out, and would be willing to offer you what help that we can.
The eagle, I assume, is likely the same one that spoke with us after we cleared this blight, and he mentioned that there were many more across the land.
Yes, we've heard of
Asked for our
this.
help. He asked for our help in clearing them, but was a bit cryptic. Recommended seeking out the shroud as we've done, but offered little help in discovering where any more of these might be.
Druids also mentioned the Gnarl Root Sanctum up in bumfuck nowhere. I don't even know.
And I literally laugh.
You see there's an awkward pause there, and then Barian laughs as well. And he says, "Oh, being out in nature seems to rob everyone of their humor. It's good to be amongst city folk for a minute." Well, I must confess that I haven't seen any other blights in this forest, and since your deed, which the eagle speaks of, we've been much better off. We were going to go and deal with it, but we're puzzling over how to do so when suddenly one day it was removed, and so I think that we have you to thank.
If I can leave a suggestion for the future, and this is something that you should spread to other circles, the elements are quite effective against it. If it is in fact a similar blight in every forest, we found, and I gesture to my friends here, fire and ice, I believe, thanks to Lotho, were quite effective. Otherwise, it just replicates itself and becomes even more lethal. So keep that in mind if ever it comes back, or if some of your friends are in urgent need and we're out of range.
You can practically see in his eyes like the act of Barian taking like a mental note when you mention this, and he says, "Thank you." Well, I feel as though we have much to speak of, though perhaps first you should be rewarded for what you've done. What is it exactly that you seek? How can we assist you on whatever your quest may be? If you plan to rid the world of these blights, it would be beneficial for us to offer you what we can.
I think the most helpful, I personally think that the most helpful thing would be just some guidance. Pretty much just been. Go ahead.
If I can chime in, guidance, Lotho, I think is in their best interest for the blight. If we were to be given a gift, if any, if we could ask that of you, it would be an introduction with the Druidic circles in Nomentar. We're not in a rush to go to the Null Root Sanctum just yet, but the Brown Druids down south did warn us that without proper passage authorization, it would be most likely the last trip we ever make. I'm not sure if you have any communication with them, and our priority right now, according to the Eagle and Eridan's very cryptic and urgent desires, is to take out the blight here, Skyfall. But at the end of the day, we will need direct answers, and apparently that's where we'll find them.
I'm gonna roll to see how much exactly Barian knows of the elves. But he will tell you what he does. Wow, I just rolled a 2. Okay, well.
No! He doesn't
No!
know shit.
Elves,
was-
like guys with the pointy ears, right? Yeah, I have no fucking idea.
It was like 1,000 voices all crying out and then being
Really?
silenced at the same time.
Prequel memes leaking again. Fuck's sake.
He turns to you and he says, "I have not been to the lands of Nomentar, but I know of this sanctum that you speak of. It is famous in many circles. If you're traveling there, you'll be stopped at the border. There's a group of elves known as the Dagorale, and they won't allow you to pass any further unless they deem you worthy. But I must confess, I don't actually know what it is that would make you worthy in their eyes. The elves care very much for their forests, and they're similar to these ones, though I hear they are filled with fey creatures."
Is there some kind of definitive sign that we're emissaries or chosen ones of Eridan? I mean, I was quite literally told I was chosen, and in some bizarre, hallucinogenic dream, carried by an eagle quite literally to the party I'm with right now. I figure that has to count for something, but I have nothing other than my words, and unfortunately, my words in common or any other language seem to fall on deaf ears when it comes to druids. Is there anything I can show them when I get to the border?
Well, I suppose it would be a good idea to know the Elvish language.
Which
Though I
I'm
heard you
quite
speaking with
well-versed
Kina, so you should be fine.
Okay.
So that would definitely help. You don't have any, perhaps bad history with the elves of Nomentar, do you? They have very good memories.
Other than half my blood coming from the elves down south, no, I don't.
You see, he almost takes like a brief step back, almost, and then pauses, and he says, "That may be a problem, or it might not. I don't know.
Not sure how much they'll hold my birthright against me, but
Yes, one cannot say. The way the elves make their decisions can be confusing at times, I've been told." Oh, Firth,
Do they care for dragons?
Says, I do not know. My command of history is poor.
the town elder
I'm sure I'll
or
be
a
fine.
druidic elder. Sorry, I'm completely ignorant of the ways of druids.
I am an elder of this circle, but
Ah,
given
sorry,
as
I
that
didn't mean
is,
offense.
No, it's perfectly fine. I understand things are different here. I used to live in the city when I was much younger. I don't know the goings on aside from through a lens that's tuned only to see the leaves and the hues of nature and weather. I can tell you things about the natural world and the history there, but I don't know if the elves perhaps waged war against the dragons at one point or another.
Do you know of anything about a black dragon?
What do you ask?
Just I had a bad experience with one, and I wasn't sure if you've seen one around or.
Around these parts, no. Bless my stars, I've never seen one in these woods.
Okay. Thank you very much.
So, I guess it's just a question of finding where the next blights are, targeting them. By the way, I feel like we should add, and I again look to my group. I understand this might be putting your circle at risk, but in chasing or in trying to look out for the shrouded druids down south, we drew the attention of a fiend that tried to put himself in between us and our objective, hell-bent on eradicating us from the face of the earth, it seems.
Which fiend is this?
Theo is his name.
Let's roll luck for your group. If it's a 10 or higher, he knows something about Theo.
Says he works for
Oh my god.
Master
it's a
of
4.
Deceivers.
Jeez, this guy doesn't know anything.
He doesn't seem aware of him, and he pauses for a second and says, well, I've not heard of Theo specifically, but if a fiend is on your group's tail, then you have to be very cautious. Though, now that you have the shroud, that will be great help.
Guys, do you have any questions? Besides the
No,
location
I-
of the blights themselves.
Is there any quick way to travel up there?
Towards...
the temple?
Oh, the sanctum? Not that I know of. I've heard that to stray off of the roads in the land of the elves is a dangerous, dangerous thing. But to speed you along? No idea.
Is it possible to speak with the eagle?
It's possible, but we cannot call for him, and he only shows when he chooses to show.
Fortunate. Will our shroud stop him from being able to find us?
The eagle?
Yes. He was able to very quickly and swiftly find us after eradicating the blight. I assumed he was able to know of our location, unless it was just pure luck and happenstance that he was nearby.
The eagles have very, very good eyes. It could have been that he saw you from afar, but if it was through some sort of magical ability, no, the shroud will stop him. It's a gift of legend.
Gift, again, that word. There's nothing you can do against the poison in our eyes at this point, no?
He looks
You're
over
an
at his
elder,
fellow
I don't-
druids and turns back to you and says, we have powers of restoration at our disposal, but I don't know if it can counteract something as mighty as the shroud.
What about my madness?
Excuse me?
I have a. Never mind. I'll ask you later.
No, it's Verth. It's I saw you mid-rage. It might be something we want to address. My friend, and maybe the restoration, we give it a try, and it heals him as well, in that regard. But he was infected by a cult that worshipped apparently a deity of
Mursa.
some kind. Mursa, that's right. In opposition to Theo, if I'm not mistaken, right? And Theo's master. Anyways, they infected him with a kind of madness where his battle trance that he goes into is now not a trance at all. It's in fact an all-consuming rage that has him be completely insatiable in battle. I can't quite describe it.
Varian nods and he says, "Come with me." And he starts to wander towards the pool. Or the little stream, rather.
Fuck yeah, Verth.
Oh yeah, I follow.
Oh, that works. I might bring up my injury.
Okay.
This is where Reza could just come like, oh yeah.
I follow him and I like look back to the other guys and I'm just like giving
I'm
them a
following
thumbs
too.
up, like
I'll follow.
see you guys.
He looks over and he says, "This spring water has sacred properties and might restore you back to proper condition, though I have no idea if it will or not. Its powers and will, though powerful, are fickle. I have no idea whether or not it'll work for you. So, as elder of the Forest Circle, I give you permission to take some. Drink now."
I shove my hands in and I take a big.
Everybody, please go ahead and make that wisdom roll once again. Not saving throw this time, but a wisdom check.
Can I do something? I have no idea if this is gonna help my roll at all.
Sure. Let's
But
see.
I'd like to take my tabard off.
You're like, I want to
Eh.
stick my head in and drink for 2 minutes.
No. I want to take my tabard off completely, kind of neatly fold it, and looking at it, I'm going to, with the druid's permission, let it rest just on the surface of the water, and I'm going to let it kind of drift out into the center of the pond. And
Oh, okay. So
think-
yeah, before anyone drinks, then how do you pitch that to him? Like, what are you gonna say?
I'm going to look at him and be like, look, this tabard was once a shining example of my vanity, and Erudin, for all the confusion that he's caused in my life, is starting to send me on a path of purpose. With your permission, I think this might be a gesture that he appreciates. He's been repairing my tabard into the colors, and I kind of have this really big, genuine smile on my face. The colors of Erudin himself from the red. And it's kind of a game we've been playing, but again, with your permission, I don't want to taint the waters or anything like that. I'd like to cast it out as we do this, see if we can get his favor.
He pauses for a second here, and then go ahead and roll persuasion for me, and get at least a 10 or higher.
Hit rolls coming in.
Oh, a 10.
Yes.
Okay. He says, "I will allow this, but if you do so, you forfeit your drink of the water."
I'll do it for my friends.
Okay. So, everybody,
Um,
please go ahead and make that roll.
Okay, I made
You
that
want us
roll
to-
already.
I saw
you
you
want us
roll
to re-roll?
twice there.
What? Oh,
No,
me.
it was almost a
Well,
20.
it was a 7 at first, though. But yeah, I
Fuck.
just
So even with like my modifier of 16 persuasion, I'm not allowed to drink now?
No, it's a
Damn it.
one
You
use
want-
only.
You
mine was
want
a
to
7
re-roll?
at first, and I just
We already rolled.
Yeah, so I saw Verth's roll. I need you three to make your rolls.
Oh, okay. I rolled a 15 before.
Just a straight wisdom check.
Oh! 19!
Okay,
13.
13. Okay,
Oh wait, wait.
Jack, right?
4.
15 for me.
15. Okay.
Would this? Can I ask him real quickly too, if it would heal my wound from like way back?
Oh, interesting. He says, "I do not know. Like I said, the powers of the water are fickle."
Thank you.
I think Erudin IRL just blessed my roll.
So,
14 for me if it's just a check.
okay. So we have a 14, a 15, and a 19, and then under a 10. Okay. Verth, we'll do yours first, and then we'll go down the line towards the right. Your madness does not lift, and you can still feel that anger fills the back of your mind there. However, your maximum health pool increases by 8 HP.
Damn.
Oh, that's baller as
Shit.
fuck, dude. That's like a full level.
As you kind of like lean back from the water, you feel like a vigor and a fortitude that runs through your body. The madness is still there, unfortunately, but you definitely feel stronger. And then
Holy shit.
Nice.
going over towards, that was a 13 that you had gotten?
14.
14, right. So for 14, let's see here. I'm gonna roll luck for you.
Oh shit.
Oh, that's a 1.
Ah!
Oh, that
Oh,
one you
jeez,
can
tonight
re-roll that,
has been
right?
So bad.
Tonight is cursed. It's super cursed. Okay, let's see here. Yours, unfortunately, does not lift either. Your vision stays the same. And your health pool, the max, raises by 1 HP.
Oh,
Okay.
Then moving along to you there, Aldrin.
15.
What are the terms of your injury right now? It's a -4 to dex, right?
It's -4 to dex and -4 dex, -2 HP.
Okay. Your HP goes back to normal, and your dex changes from a -4 to a -2. Yeah,
Wow, good stuff, dude.
so getting that back. And then Carrick over here with a 19, I'm going to roll for luck for you.
Okie Ravioli,
Oh my god, that's the
ravioli,
first roll that doesn't blow completely. I don't know if that...
Give me the formioli.
Give you the formula. That is a 17. Okay.
Hey, that needs to be something because I rolled the 17. They should like triple into the atmosphere.
Triple into the atmosphere.
-1 for dex.
Okay.
Got 31 HP.
Your health does not increase at all, fortunately, and when you lean back, you don't feel any stronger, but as you look forward, you see all the way down the forest, and you now have normal vision once again.
Fuck, dude.
Damn.
Amazing. Fuck yes. Scribbling all that shit out. I can see.
Oh.
All right.
Oh yeah, but since I got rid of my injury, I still have the darkness around me.
Okay.
Right.
Yes. Your
Okay.
your shroud hasn't been altered in any way, but your
Okay.
your old injury seems to have been healed almost fully. There's a clumsiness that has been in your step for some time, and as you kind of lean back, you feel like it's almost entirely gone. You feel almost quicker on the draw.
Weird.
I want to take the old man, like walk up to him,
Okay.
even though I'll be like, I don't think it cured it. However, I'll give him a big hug and like twirl him around and then like set him back down. And be like, thank you.
Yes. I see you're feeling much better.
With like a tear going down my eye, I'm gonna like literally just take 2 fistfuls of the dirt on the edge of the pond, kiss
Okay.
the ground, probably see my tabard just kind of go under the water, and unless it's still floating, I don't know, and get up and just be super happy.
Okay. So you pull out the tabard, and it's soaking wet, and as you're holding it in your hands there, you can see perfectly as you're looking around, and something happens to it. It slowly starts to change, and all of you notice this as Carrick is just like seated there at the stream, staring at his clothing, and you can see as the reds start to change in hue, and the whole thing starts to shift towards a green. You can see that Barian is paying very close attention to this as it happens, and it continues going, and it begins to change even further. There's a green tabard now, but the fur starts to disappear and instead is replaced by like ruffles of perfectly verdant green leaves that go around your shoulders instead.
Oh shit!
Oh.
So you were wearing studded leather, were you not?
I was, yeah.
Okay. So unfortunately I need you to make alterations to this as it is now a semi-magical item.
Oh, okay.
The AC moves from being the stud leather's 12 plus. So it moves from being a 12 plus down to an 11 plus, as you
Okay.
notice that the metal portions of it actually disappear and just are completely evaporated from sight. However, while you're wearing this, if you make a stealth check to hide in anything that is nature related instead of like behind a building per se, you have advantage on the check.
Fucking awesome, semi-magical. That out.
Semi-magic song.
Like the backpack song.
Yeah.
God.
Varian speaks up before any of you can really say anything as he kind of watches in awe and he says, I think you are indeed one of Eridan's chosen. It's a mighty fine gift.
I'm not gonna lie, and I'm kind of whispering in a sarcastic way. It's about fucking time. And I kind of let out a chuckle.
He laughs as well, and Varian seems to be in a good mood. He says, yes. Well, I'm happy to see that the waters have treated you all so well.
And by the way, guys, and I snap my fingers and point at all of them, and I kind of start a little dance. Not the only thing he did. Point at anything, Varian. Anything. Super far away.
He points off in the distance at a tree.
That's a fucking tree. I mean, that's a terrible example, but I...
It's like you're in a fucking forest and someone's like, I spy something that is green. Wow.
Tree. Terrible example.
Claude.
Guys, and I just fucking, like, take Aldrin, look him in the eyes and start shaking him. I can fucking see!
I can too.
Oh. Well,
Not as clearly as you, but
that's right!
then I get puke out of shoes.
I mean, dude, that sucks. That's terrible. Yeah.
No, I won't do that.
Anyways, Barian, I know this thing must be sacred to your people. Thank you so much. Eridan's really given us quite the boon. We appreciate it.
He bows and he says, from the sounds of it, you'll need it. As far as things go with the Blight, I can't say that I've heard of any in Freehold, to be honest. If the Eagles told you that there were more, then they must be somewhere else in the land, and I wish I could direct you to them, but I have no idea where they might be. And worse yet, if you're being pursued by this fiend, well... I don't know.
Is this temple to the north common knowledge? Would the fiend know of it?
That's tough to say. Does the fiend seem knowledgeable? Is he cunning, or is he a base creature?
Cunning would be putting it lightly.
Motherfucker's a chess master.
You've attracted some bad attention. If he is indeed as good at dragon chess as you say, then this is going to be difficult.
Fuck off. Look, guys, I think I'm not sure if we can actually agree, but this is just my feeling about it. Lothar and I talked in Pine's Edge, and we agreed that civilization right now might need to be put on hold for a while, just because Theo, and I'm not sure how much Barian knows about fiends, but if he does, I'm sure he'll agree. Theo can offer everyone under the sun whatever they want. So maybe we go from Druid Circle to Druid Circle, and in that sense, Barian, I don't mean to impose, but we'll need, is there any kind of supply chain offered by Druids? Is there anything that we can have access to? Supply chain might be putting it a little in an industrial
You bear the
I
gifts of Eridan, and I believe that now your clothing alone will be enough to at least give them pause when they have their arrows drawn in your direction. So, know that. However, not all druids are as nice as we are. There are some that'll guard their groves, and anyone who wasn't Eridan who were to step into there would soon find themselves dead, so don't assume that you'll be welcomed everywhere. Speak Druidic when you can. Leave signs. If there are ways of contacting the druids, use them instead of stumbling upon them.
I might be completely ignorant here, and I look at Lotho. Is Druidic something I can learn?
Ah. Table talk? Possibly. Probably not.
Yeah, it's like super secret.
Yeah, no, I know player's handbook style. It's not.
It's like a language that you get from at least partially having the nature magic to begin with. It's not exactly like Thieves' Cant, where it's like if you spent a long time, you could show someone Thieves' Cant. There's like an element to it which is almost like pseudo-magical.
Okay.
That being said, when you hit level 4, you can always take a level of Druid.
Fuck, and miss an ability score? Are you crazy? You fucking crazy, son? And besides, if I were to go anything, it'd be Paladin Oath of Ancients or Ranger Baby.
Okay.
But anyways, so I guess IRL talk, or not IRL, but to Barian, what would he tell me there? Would he just tell me it's impossible, or?
He says, I have never heard of somebody without the gift learning to speak Druidic. I don't know if it's possible, it might be, but I have never seen it myself.
Okay. Well, I guess we can start if we don't know where the blights are, guys. Maybe we want to go just from. Actually, that might not be a good idea. I was about to suggest Druid Circle to Druid Circle, but given Barian's assessment of some of the less savory Druidic circles, it might not be a good idea.
If I
How
had
do
to
you
give you
see-
some advice on your journey, I would say a few things.
Oh.
Towards the north, there are a group of mountains, the Grey Peak Mountains, and they are incredibly perilous. I do know that druids call those mountains home, though I have no idea of what their character may be, and I also know that the mountains and their beasts could swallow you whole, and during this time, even without the beasts, an avalanche could easily do you in. So be cautious if you plan to travel through there. The elves do not pay attention watching the mountains, and it is the only portion of Nomentar that you could travel through without running into the Dagorale, so that complicates matters. If you do want to enter into Nomentar, the majority of people do at the base of Balin's Pass. And he shows you on the map that this is right here. If you don't plan to go in straight through there and you want to travel mostly through Skyfall and make your way past Yargalek and Novaria, that might work. I haven't heard much news over there, though there is talk that the war has ended, so perhaps that is a good thing.
Barian, in Nomentar, I mean, I don't know how much knowledge you have of the Wood Elves, but are they generally worshippers of Eridan? I mean, basically, my question is, if I were to go to that border, and Lotho were to speak Druidic, and I were to showcase my armor, and say I'm a chosen one of Eridan, am I going to get laughed at? Am I going to get shot?
Perhaps both. However, I do know that of the gods that the elves hold sacred, Eridan is one of them. There are some they do not care for, but he is very, very dear to them, given their connection to the forest.
They care for winter.
Tough to say. To be perfectly honest, I think that few people care for winter.
Misunderstood.
So, Varian,
Perhaps.
putting you in the hot seat, if you were told by a giant eagle in Eridan to go get a shroud and strike the blight from Skyfall, would you A, roam Skyfall looking for blights, or B, go to the temple up north, try to get a more direct line of communication to Eridan, and see if we can get a tool to hunt the blights down themselves?
Tough to say. Is this me right now that you're asking, or back in my adventuring days?
Whichever one is more reckless.
I would travel to the elves. I
What do you
would
think,
go
Oz?
along north, and I would stay in Skyfall until getting to Kazil and make my way into Nirntar. I would see the great city of Fenistan, then glance upon the temple just across.
I guess by bypassing the border, we might actually go to elves that are more sympathetic to druids in that neck of the woods. I mean, that's just an assumption, but
Never been, but that could be.
what do you think, guys?
You all came from Yargalek, right? You were there before?
We came from Novaria specifically, in Hillcrest. It's kind of, or Emel's Basket, sorry, is where, I guess that's Kuzil, right?
Yeah.
So it's almost. So Kuzil upholds these 4 towns here in its borders, and these 3 over here as well.
Right, because they're a bunch of isolated and fractured little towns.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
you guys
so
were in
we're in
Yargalek for a
Bavaria.
brief moment, stopping at Oberkon, and I remember it
Mhm.
vividly because you asked about, like, which way should we go? And someone's like, well, there's a little enchanted forest over there, and you went, nope, 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 because you just
Oh,
bumped into the Dryads.
I thought his question was where we started, but yeah, I do
Oh, yeah,
remember.
yeah, you started up
'cause
at Emel's Basket.
The idea of Wood Gothica was fucking gave me a hard on. I wanted to visit that so bad.
I think we should go back to that enchanted forest.
Nope. 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 Nope.
Yep, yep.
Well, if you guys are
Yes,
familiar
yes.
with that route, more or less, I'd rather go that way.
I think, I mean,
Maybe find
Barian
trouble that way.
Barian was pretty quick to answer there, and I think it's a good idea. The border is going to be, I'm not going to say it's not going to be trafficked, but there are going to be more eyes on us. Whereas if we go near the temple, it's just by proximity we'll be potentially luckier to finding druids, at least amongst the border guard, to see if maybe we can get some help. And rather than going through an entire perilous country full of vegetation that A wants to kill us or rape us, and B elves that potentially might not listen to what the border guard said at the entrance, this cuts our stay in Normanton General by a significant amount. It brings us right next to a town that will potentially know about the Grove, although I'm not sure if we're going to share it. And apparently, Barian says it's a fantastic city, so why not? And we'll be able to go straight to the Grove. And from there, Eridan, of all places, if he's going to talk to us, that'll be it. And maybe he can give us some kind of tool to hunt down these blights.
There's one question. Do we want to try and cut through the, or risk taking the water, flaming water, off to that one
Actually,
river
I
that we
mean,
went to?
Aldrin, that's a very good point. Barian, are you aware of lakes that light people aflame and teleport them?
He gives you a complete look of confusion
Okay.
Best keep that
and a
to
little
us.
bit of worry, like you might be insane.
Barian, so far I'm sure you can trust that was sound of mine to a certain extent, and I kind of
He
let out a
says,
chuckle.
certain extent.
Certain extent. Look, we were told by Theo that we're great souls. We've been losing days, sometimes weeks at a time.
Let's see if
Uh,
Barian
and-
knows this. Ah,
Yeah.
Okay, he seems to give you a look like he's nodding along and he knows what you're talking about.
Kitty
Um,
knows something.
And
Not saying that in, that's table talk right there.
and you could follow us, and I could quite literally show you. But hitting the lake, touching the very waters of the lake, west of Springtown, hitting the ones south of Innenbar, and the ones also west of Vindicta, literally a warm, soothing flame encompasses our very bodies, and by looking at these lines of light, we're able to quite literally teleport from one lake and one body of water to another. You ever heard of any stories like that? Because we've just come from Zorencia to the eastern side of this lake, just west of Dio's outpost, in virtually a few seconds, and we've been exploring it quite a bit.
Hmm. Well, to be perfectly honest, halfway through talking to you, all I had guessed that you might be great souls. But this bit about the lake is all news to me. I have no idea what it is exactly that it does. Say it's transported you, then I believe you, but I can't say that I know exactly how.
Okay. Well, regardless, and I look to Aldrin. Aldrin, it's a fantastic idea. We'll be able to cut our time in half, if not more so. We'll save days, if not more than a week.
Well, the
Travel?
only thing is that the last time we took it, it cut our days cut a bunch of days off of our.
Did it? Barian, I'm not sure if you keep the calendar, but what day is it today?
Ah.
Let's see, Aldrin. Let's see what you got, homie. You might be right.
Going into table talk. Wasn't it when we were down in just past Sarencia? What day was it before we traveled up? The 87th.
87th?
It was
It
the
was the
87th.
87th when we were in Pine's Edge. We don't know what day it was when we left Sarencia.
When
Oh,
left
you're right.
Sarencia.
It's Pine's Edge. That's right.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to find out. I don't know.
So happy we have Lotho Rainman, the note taker, on our team.
Yeah,
because,
right.
like,
We wouldn't know shit.
we'd be still wandering the deserts at this point.
Probably.
So you had made 9 days of travel to get over to the lake there, and then 2 days of travel to get to Pine's Edge from that. So,
Fuck it. Let's take the lake.
yeah, all in all, I mean, let's see here.
Oh, cut a good portion of days off.
So it would have been the 76th when we left the desert, and 11 days of total travel from the desert to, and we didn't skip any days, unless Barian doesn't know the date, and then in which case we don't know. But
He tells you it's the 87th,
oh, okay.
so you haven't seemed to have lost any time between them.
So there's the answer, Aldrin. I think that the losing time is not related to the lakes. I think it's purely just based on whimsy and bad fortune.
Yeah. I say that we take the lake then.
We'll be
Cut our time short.
if the map actually before I metagame the shit out of that. Can I roll an intelligence check or something to see if I notice the pattern of where we land on the lake to see if it's actually the closest border?
You've used it
'Cause
twice, and it seems to put you at the closest border each time. So yes, you would know that.
I would have noticed. Okay, so if our usage is any indication, we're gonna head up right in Vindicta, more or less. So at that point, we'll either have to go through the main road through Saran, and go on the southern side of the lake, or go through that famous enchanted forest that we completely and utterly avoided last time, east of Yargolek. It's up to you guys. I mean, if we want to go on a little adventure in the enchanted forest, it could be worth our while, but it could be a unnecessary threat.
Arian, do you know anything about that forest at all?
Which forest?
On the outskirts of
Yargolek.
Overcon,
Let's
on
see if
the
he
eastern
does.
edge of Yargolek.
It appears that he does know something about it.
Fuck yeah, those rolls are coming, baby.
Here we go. The fortune's turning. He says to you, I can't remember its name, but they say that almost like the woods over in Nomentar, there's many a fey creature that call that wood home.
Ah, we've been to the ones in Nomentar. Or not Nomentar, sorry, I'm thinking Noveria.
He says,
Fey
that
creatures.
being said, I'm not sure which fey creatures.
So they could be dangerous, or they could be friendly.
They could be creatures of shadow that swallow you for eternity, or small, little, helpful denizens of the forest.
Jesus, what the fuck is
Or-
wrong with the Fae?
Mixture of the both. Well, that's how it is, and I assume as the Chosen of Eredin, the more that you get to learn how nature works, the more that you'll see that sometimes it is a helpful boon and other times your worst nightmare. But it
Tell
should
me
be
about
tended to all the same.
I think that scorpion venom for the shroud is any indication. That's pretty much nature's gift in a nutshell.
He
Okay,
pauses
well-
for a second and he says, I always wondered where they got the shroud.
I figured you've been so helpful, I might as well have given you a little snippet. Okay, well, guys, do you have any questions? Any concerns, queries?
Yeah, are any of them wearing like face paint at all?
No, it doesn't seem like it.
Ooga shaka.
Or I want. I'm a big dragonborn, and I can't really like hide that at all. And I'm white, can't really hide that at all. I was wondering if he had any like face paint or dye that I could like paint myself like kind of red instead, so I wouldn't be as obvious.
You're gonna straight up blackface, but Dragonborn style?
Yeah.
That's messed up, dude.
It appears that Barian is at first a little bit bewildered by your request, and then says, well, I have some magic that I could use to conceal you, but it wouldn't last more than a day, maybe.
Don't bother, never mind, I'm sorry.
He says on the bright side, it is quite snowy out, and for the next little while at least, you'll be hidden under cover of snow.
You having an identity crisis there, Beth?
No.
I was meant to be red.
If Theo's looking for a white dragonborn, how many white dragonborn are out and about nowadays? Not very many.
You're
I
the
kinda
first
give
I've
him-
seen in Skyfall.
I kind of give him a shocked look and be like, okay, point taken.
Yeah.
That's fair.
If he's putting out feelers and he's just like, hey, is there a white dragonborn? You know.
That's all I've been bitching about for the last week or so, and you're absolutely right. If there's any way that you can throw Theo off your scent by masquerading as something else, then absolutely, it's a good idea.
Oh, I've said what I think I can. If the four of you ever need refuge once again, know that this circle is open to you, and that you're more than welcome to come back here if need be.
And Kina, the friendly centaur, will always be there to help.
Yes, Kina keeps a wide set of eyes over this entire forest. If ever you need her, I'm sure that you know how to summon her.
Right. Alright, guys.
Keeping with the Wintercrest tradition of like giving gifts and stuff, even though it's not the first, I want to give him my Outlander trophy as like thanks for everything he's done.
Dude, I'm so happy you said something because it just jogged my memory for something that I wanted to ask him.
Okay, he takes it, and what is your trophy exactly?
If it's fine with you, it would have been like, since I'm a dragonborn, kind of like a dragon tooth, maybe, or
Sure. Okay. Is it someone like related to you, or is it like an actual dragon's tooth?
I'll leave that to your discretion.
Let's roll luck. If it's a 10 or higher, it's a real dragon's tooth.
Oh shit, that's baller.
Okay, 15. So you have in your possession somehow an authentic tooth from a dragon. It could have perhaps been like an heirloom in the family, or something that you stumbled upon in the jungles below. But you hand this over to him, and he gives it a look, and it's like he knows what it is, and he says, "Thank you." And he holds it close to his chest before placing it in a pocket in his coat and kind of patting it for a second.
I give him a little bow and I say, no, thank you. And that's all.
Barian, before I go, are you any good at... You know what, I'll just show you. And I take out Reza and Edgar's dagger. And kind of hold them up, flat palm out. And can you... anything about these weapons? The dagger,
Interesting.
I'm not sure, but Reza was a gift from a fiend. Now, I did lay out some specific criteria to make sure that it wasn't anything that would fight against me, but I figure even if we're masked from scrying, I want to make sure that I knew the nature, at least, of the weapon, but if you can tell me more, that'd be great.
Barian looks to you and he says, "Oh, I don't have the ability to identify magical items, unfortunately, but I can take a look at them and maybe see if there's anything about them."
Oh, please do.
Okay, he looks at the two of them, and first he looks at the dagger. Okay. 14. He stares at it for a moment and he seems rather... It seems very old, but I don't see any magic in it. And then he looks over at Reza. That's a 14 as well. What are the odds? He looks over at Reza and he says, "There's clearly a heat locked within this sword, though something else. And he
Well,
hands it back
it's-
to you.
It speaks to me, by the way. But nothing more than cursory words. Is there some kind of detection of evil that you can do to see if Reza is a tool for Theo, or is it just an instrument?
Oh, interesting. Let's
As I
see.
slightly might metagame my way into druidic spell knowledge.
Uh-huh, mm-hmm.
Girl, please. Reza springs alive and fucking beheads me.
He says, I don't know. I'm sorry.
Alright. Guess that's a good sign. Alright, well, guys, Aldrin, Lotho, I know these are your people. Do you have any questions?
Out of like table talk. Yeah, I do, but I'm gonna wait until we start to leave.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay.
I
So
have
you guys
nothing to
may have
ask.
noticed that slightly Lotho's slightly a little bit less confident than he made.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. Yeah. Okay, I don't know
May
if I
have,
would
may not have.
I probably wouldn't address that right away, but I'll kind of see it, note it, and thank Varian very much.
Actually, no. It's like,
Okay.
And start walking away.
All right. So people start to leave, and then are you going to lag behind Lotho and turn to talk to Barian?
Yeah,
Like a
I am.
private?
I'm gonna. Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna speak in Druidic too.
Okay.
So couldn't help but notice. Well, one, I assume that like the shroud of the desert druid, this river is your boon that you offer. Not maybe not offered, but I guess is basically like similar to theirs.
In a way.
Is this friends all, and let me first say that I'm incredibly grateful for you allowing me the opportunity to drink from it, but I couldn't help but feel like I may have done something wrong. Notice that my friends got all this great gifts, I'll say, but guess I don't know. I didn't feel like I got anything super special from it. I did feel respect. But is there something that maybe prevented me from connecting with it further?
He sort of leans down a little bit and he says, Lotho, I have dedicated my life to serving Aridin, and if there's one thing that I know, it's that the druids are very much considered to be his own children, and I'm certain that he's looking out for whatever way he can. If you feel like perhaps you're not rewarded, it could be that you don't need reward as much as your companions do. At least that's how I would choose to see it.
I will brighten up at that remark and perhaps maybe also kind of, I'll say shy, not shy away, but like realize that there was a bit of naivety to my request there and just say, thank you for all your help.
He gives you the
Glad that
smile
we found this
of
place.
a wise man who's seen many days, and before you leave, he whispers to you and he says, by the way, if somebody is looking for you, I might perhaps place that cloak in your bag while you're out and about. It's very obvious.
And I'll actually do that right now.
Now, best of luck. May Aridin watch over you all.
You as well.
Okay. And you all step away from the grove.
Fuck yeah!
Now, it is 30 minutes early, but I think that we will end the session there, given all the amazing that has happened.
Oh,
with you leaving from this druid circle and headed on your merry way to attempt to make chapter 2 of your main quest, a perilous pilgrimage.
ba-dum-bum.
Hey, we're not in the desert.
Right?
That should be the name of it. Chapter 2. We're not in the desert.
Honestly, I'm super
The
relieved
desert can
that
no longer screw
that
us.
puzzle was fucking devious, and I'm happy we got over it. But now we have a clear, defined objective. Gonna be nice for a little while. Gonna go up, get fucked by Theo at some point. Novaria.
He's still looking for you, I guarantee
For
it.
show. For show. And, you know, stay away from people, civilization, all that. Sucks because we're not going to be able to really get equipped, but whatever.
Dude, I gotta say, like, your rolls tonight, holy crap, there's like pure trash until a few near the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tables turned at the end. I'm happy.
Yeah. Well, to everyone who is watching, thanks for tuning in to our players. I think you guys did pretty good. Like 10 out of 10, Lotho, on that riddle. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
holy shit!
Yeah.
I was worried. I was super worried, and you hadn't told me any of the bits that you had been thinking about. And then when you just spelled it out, like 100%, like holy fuck, you did it. So
Here
big
I
ups
went
to you
through all
guys.
the sessions.
To the audience, thanks for tuning in. Oh, and also thanks for letting me know about the book sale that's going on. And to all of our patrons, you guys are the reason that we get to do this. So, you know, thanks to you guys
Hell
as
yeah.
well.
You guys are awesome.
And we're going to stick around, talk some random stuff. If you want to chill, you're more than welcome. Otherwise, there's one more session coming up Thursday. And then we'll see you later. Adios.
Bye-bye.
I'm going to go pee my brains out. We're back.
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing that in a second. Yeah, so earlier when I sneezed, I muted my mic, and, like, as I knew it was coming, and then I unmuted my mic, and I was like, shit, and I just sneezed, and I was like, damn it. So I apologize for sneezing during your stream.
Oh, it's okay, buddy. Don't worry about it.
Alright, I will be back in a moment.
Yeah, no worries.
See, that's the benefit of the app. You can just put yourself on mute and go take a leak whenever you need to.
I took a couple leaks. I have a headless, or not headless. Wow,
Headless?
a wireless headset. I just go.
You got a headless wire set?
Yeah.